Hold up, yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got then, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy, the richest got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me, but known for my city like OAGZ. Set the pace as long as you finish. Consumers find a way inside your business. Babble if they try to dabble in it, and they hate the fact that they may have to witness. You tryna aim for the top like this, and you're in your element with a fire like this, and they hoping you fall and they praying you miss, but it's all in the risk. I got you with the switch, you know. I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas. 155 on the road. You could be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy. 'Cause I know I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Flow is like water. I'm forced through the fire. I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth. Following God and you grinding. You do as you told. I don't work to make you like me, but I'm front and center. Word to Spike Lee. And God came in the nick of time. They think I'm crazy, well I might be. Let's run it up, run it up, run it up. We beating the odds just to sum it up. You know it's a rap, never waistlines, and I'm cutting the weight like a tummy tuck. That mean I'm about to give it out right now. You see what's coming down the line, I never pipe down. I give 100% of me, trying to stun on my enemies. In my element, it's crazy as the mic shine. I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas. 155 on the road. You could be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy. 'Cause I know I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element. Never switch up. 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 Keep that same energy. Never switch up. I'm in my element.
Yeah. Let's get it. One time. For everybody in the building. Let me know where you at. Let me know where you at, man. Hold on a second. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. We back in another segment, man. Read the ring, man. It's your boy Rain. And the co-host will be up here in a minute, Angelo Reyes. I don't know if Ray Davis is going to pop up here today or not. I'm not too sure how the day's going on with him just yet. But we do got a lot of boxing to talk, and we are less than 48 hours away. Are we less than 48 hours away? No, we're not. We're not less. We're a little over 48 hours. We got tomorrow and then Saturday evening, right? But regardless, one of the biggest fights of the year, we know, same old spiel, man. One of the biggest fights of the year about to happen on Saturday. We talked a lot about that on Tuesday, but on Sunday, we do have another event popping off. So we're rolling into a lot of boxing this weekend. Big weekend of boxing. ZUFFA 8 will be popping off on Sunday. Rayo, Venezuela, Edwin De Los Santos 2.0. That one's going to be a good one. We got a lot to talk about, man. Breaking down the ZUFFA card today. We will definitely be talking about that. Also, other things going on in the space that we do need to talk about in the news. Abdullah Mason gets a final minute replacement. What? Yes, 4th of July, main event, Abdullah Mason's first title defense. The youngest champion in boxing today he's dealing with the politics of boxing as Joe Cordina is unable to get his visa approved to come into the States. One might have thought he would have gotten that squared away a long time ago, but it is what it is. In the last minute, he does get a replacement. Who is going to replace Joe Cordina in the last minute? Albert Bell. Shout out to my brother, Toledo Treese, if he's in the building. I'm not too sure, but Treese, I talked to you about this before. Maybe it's a setup. Is this going to end up blowing up in Abdullah Mason's face? He doesn't get a full camp for an Albert Bell. Should you have a full camp for an Albert Bell? Should Albert Bell be a last-minute replacement? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm getting Sebastian Fundora, Tim Tszyu vibes here. Maybe not as extreme, right? But we'll talk about it because Albert Bell is a top-level contender. Albert Bell was actually scheduled to fight for an eliminator against Andy Cruz. So this is a high-level fighter who's already in line to get in front of a belt. So Albert Bell gets the knock. He's been in training camp, been getting ready for this Andy Cruz fight. And he says, you know what? This is an actual opportunity to become a full champion, WBO champion in Ohio. Have the stars aligned for Albert Bell, or has Abdullah Mason been given an opportunity to show and prove in front of his own state to have a fight of the year candidate potentially against two Ohioans, man. I said Ohioans. If somebody in the building is from Ohio, feel free to correct me if there's another way to say that. But Ohio's going to be lit on July 4th. This one going to be on TNT. I mean, 4th of July, a lot riding on this one here. Abdullah Mason has to make some adjustments in his camp. We'll talk about that as well with the panel, with Reyes and, everybody, right? Brian Norman Jr. gets out on the news. Ring Magazine interviews him. He talks about a lot of things. He talks about Errol Spence. He talks about Ronnie Shields. He talks about the new environment. They talk about who is Brian Norman today. Brian Norman seems more confident than he ever has, coming off of another knockout performance. Probably would have been a knockout of the year performance if it didn't end the way it ended up ending with all that nonsense from Wagner. But it is what it is. But maybe more importantly, the question gets asked, or he gets confronted with the issue of Keyshawn Davis, who's in the midst of waiting on Devin Haney to figure out what Devin Haney is going to do, and waiting on the WBO to officially, in writing, make him the mandatory for Devin Haney. And then we'll see what Devin Haney does at that point, whether he'll fight Keyshawn or not. I'm believing he probably will, but we got to wait for that to happen. But in the meantime, we know that as a contingency plan to Brian Norman Jr., it should be, a contingency plan to Devin Haney. There's a good chance that a vacant title may be getting fought for if Devin chooses to go the Shakur route, and Keyshawn may be looking to fight Brian Norman Jr. or Arnold Barboza, right? Either way, he does speak on it. We'll speak on that as well. Brian Norman Jr., Keyshawn Davis. Does Keyshawn have unfinished at the welterweight division? Nah, it is what it is, right? Jermall Charlo and Errol Spence also doing their media campaign, training, allowing the media to finally get access to them. They're taking questions. They're answering questions. And I got to tell you guys, very happy at what I'm seeing coming out of that camp. Jermall Charlo seemed to be very poised and calm and well thought out, focused even, as he's eliminating the distractions that were getting him offline, right? Maybe, personal issues with his family, as far as the mother of his children, and his children having a hard time kind of building that bridge to where they can co-parent in a very functional way, right? The dynamic seemed to have been weighing on him for years, him trying to figure that out. And of course, going through things with his brother as well, right? His twin brother, Jermall Charlo. We know that these guys have been an up and down relationship for years, but Jermall seems to have an answer at this point, as he's putting boxing back up at the priority of the things he needs to handle. He's focusing on the job at hand, the task at hand. And for me personally, this is where Jermall Charlo shines his best. I find when he comes back to the boxing space and he's back in training camp, he's getting ready for fights. This seems to be where he is at his most mental focused space, right? When he's dealing with all the other issues, it seems to get in the way. So he's still trying to manage it, but seems like he's managing it pretty well, trying to figure it out. But I like the way he looked. Errol Spence Jr., on the other hand, also speaking as somebody who's very mentally healthy, right? But at the same time, does that mental health interfere with his approach to boxing? Is Errol Spence dialed into boxing, or is he in it for a good time, not a long time? As Errol Spence would have, you ask Errol Spence, he'll tell you that, he's taking it one fight at a time. Let's see how I feel on the back end of this fight, and then we'll move forward. So, it kind of leaves me on the edge. It's a good thing as far as Errol Spence looks like he's focused on himself. And that's always an important thing, because boxing isn't forever. But at the same time, it does raise questions as far as his passion for the sport. Doesn't seem as passionate as he used to be. And you got to ask yourself, if lion's share of that passion that he used to have isn't there anymore, what can we expect from Errol Spence? Not only in this Tenzu fight, but in the rest of his career, right? We just don't know, right? So we got to talk about all those things today, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're running through it quicker. My soliloquy isn't as long as usual. We'll be going through the boxing, through the Zufa Boxing as well, going through all those different things. So, guys, grab your popcorn, get your drink, go to the bathroom if you need to, get back, tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. We are on our way to 4,000 subscribers. And definitely hit the like button. That being said, let me go ahead and say what up though to the people who are in the building. 43 plus people in the building. Make sure we hitting that like button. Make sure those likes represent that. Sam from Jersey in the building said, let's get it. Let's go. It's fight week. Salute ATP, Claymore Rain. No doubt, man. Salute to you, man. Akeem Blake in the building says, peace to the gods on earth. Guidance and blessings, Clay and Angelo. What up, though? Hover 575 in the building say, all for a second day. Let's talk boxing. Good afternoon, chat. Salute to you. Agent 0777 says, shout out to you, Clay. Shout out. Dank Father in the building. What's good, Dank Father? What's good? Derek Wilts, 8167 in the building says, boots in 8. Very possibly. Oh, we're going to talk a little bit about that as well, because I'm starting to, I ain't going to lie to you, man. Woo. Boots looking like he ready, man. This might not be, I don't know. Yeah, I told you 50-50. I've always told you guys I'm leaning towards Boots, but I'm getting more and more confident in what Boots is bringing to the table. We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll touch on it a little bit. Not too much, because today's Zufa day. I ain't going to lie to you. Today we're doing Zufa. I ain't going to lie to you, but I am starting to, as we're getting closer and closer to fight day, I'm saying to myself, it sounds good. You know what I mean? It sounds good, man. But damn it, sometimes the reality is the reality, right? SOB TV in the building says, salute Claymore. Blessings, brother. Boots by 9th round stoppers. Look at all the Boots energy coming in. Where all the Xander Zayas fans at? Says Albert, maybe too much for Dela. I don't like that last minute replacement. Hey, bro, this is where it happens at. You know what I mean? In a perfect world, would Abdullah Mason's team have been like, no, we don't do Albert Bell in the last minute. No, we need to get somebody that makes more sense. We don't do Albert Bell in the last minute. I'm sure Tim Zhu, hindsight, might have said the same thing about Sebastian Fundora, right? It is what it is. Sam from Jersey say, get the likes up, hit the Cash App and the Super Chat. Support the MF and grind, no doubt. Matter of fact, let me hit the banner up. There's the banner right there. The Cash App is in the banner, and I need to pay attention. If you guys are in me, lately, I ain't gonna lie. We got a couple people in here who be showing love through the Cash App. I'm just not used to it. So I haven't been looking, but now I'm going to be there. So if you throw something through the Cash App, I will be acknowledging it. Also, obviously, the Super Chat is always active in the building. Salute Sam from Jersey, no doubt. MMA boxing addicts in the building. Says salute, Dragonfly Jones in the building says salute the Rain Man, ATP, no doubt, man. Roger that in the building. What up, though? Kalia World says hello, everyone. Boxing for bitches. Salute. I ain't gonna lie, you caught me off guard now. I might not have said that if I would have read that before I read that. You know what I'm saying? But salute to boxing for you bitches. New York Bullet in the building says, what up, Clay? Welcome down, Van Howder. The Mount down, Van Howder. Father in the building says, Zoo! Everyone. And the best co-host in the game, Angelo Reyes. Bullet, let me see. My guy Angelo says, hit the like button. Angelo, y'all do need to hit that like button. Stop playing. Hit the damn like button. Do that right now, damn it. Hit the damn like button. My brother, my Aki, fly frequency in the building with the salams. Walaikum salam, rahmatullahi barakatuh. My brother, what's good with you, man? We in the building, man. We in the building. Chris Brooks in the building. What's good? At it again. My brother Clay, I ain't got a live in a while. You good, my brother? Salute, man. I'm doing good, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. I am doing good, man. Ain't hit that lottery yet, Ain't played in a while either. But life is good though. You know what I mean? A quick little 300 million might make it a little sweeter, but I'm good, man. I'm good. Just ate, matter of fact. So we're eating. As you can tell, the power's working. Internet is working. Wifey's upstairs, living her best life. Kids is all healthy. So I appreciate it, man. We're doing good, man. Roger that. Saluting for our frequency. Let me see here. Stock Chasers in the building. What up, man? Stock Chasers, we getting closer and closer and closer to a decision, man. I think we're going down. I think they're gonna have to do Keyshawn. I think Keyshawn's gonna be what it is, man. That's what I'm thinking, man. So we're gonna get some answers shortly. Oh, boxing for bitches. LOL, sorry, it's Miss Van Howder. Hey, Miss Van Howder. Okay, I ain't got no problem saying boxing for bitches. You know what I mean? I just didn't know it was how I be sometimes. Sometimes these trolls be getting up here trying to get you to say crazy shit. And they don't, you know what I mean? To be a dude, like, call them bitches, Clay. Call them bitches. I'm going to put it in there. I made Clay call them bitches. But if it's you, man, it's all good, man. Appreciate you. Salute to you, Queen. As always, man. Let me see here. Akeem Blake says, Clay, Xander fans watched all his fights and realized they were bugging. Boots about to pack pollo and rice to go. Lord child, Lord child. Nah, man. Come on, Xander. Xander gonna put up a fight, man. He gonna do he in the building, man. He in the building. I don't got a 50-50 no more. I never really had a 50-50. I really had it like 55-45. But now I'm kind of like 60-40. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if it might change even more, but I'm leaning more and more towards Boots. The more and more I'm seeing, Boots looks great. He is in great shape. He's laughing. His face don't look sunken in. He looks like, man, he looks like a dream come true is about to happen. And he looks like a lot of stuff is going on. I'm actually interested in what music he's coming out to. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm feeling like a Meek Mill. You know what I mean? Y'all thought I was finished, right? Yeah. Anyway, roger that. Great weekend for boxing, no doubt. Let me see. Let me see. Donnie 956 in the building says, I'm here for the positive Zufa vibe. Seeing Eddie Hearn and Ariel try and trash 5-month-old product. Yeah. I mean, you don't try to trash what don't need to be trashed, right? Clearly, Zufa's got people talking, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's only, you got to look at the energy for what it is, right? It is what it is. We ain't mad though. Let me see. Sakte say, Clay, let's go. Let's get to this Edwin De Los Santos versus Rayo. No doubt. Toledo Trees. Hey, Trees. I told you, bro. Didn't I tell you? I told you, Mason versus Albert Bell. That's what they need in Ohio. Didn't I call for this, Trees? Be honest. Hit the link later and tell the truth. Didn't I say this a couple months ago when you thought I was trying to set you up for the wet up? You trying to say, here it is. Where it is. And Trees, you know you're going to have to come up here later because you're going to have to make a choice, Trees. No, you don't care. Ain't no riding the fence. Ain't none of that. You going to tell me. You going to give me a pick. So figure it out. I need to know who's going to win, man. Because like Akeem Blake said, violence. That's what you love. You love violence. There's going to be some violence on the 4th of July in Ohio, bro. And oh yeah, man, you got a decision to make on the show. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's about that time. Get your popcorn, get your drinks. You should be back from the bathroom by now. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're on our way to 4K. Before we move the show any further, let's go ahead and bring them up here. Y'all know what it is. It's your boy, Angelo Reyes. We got to do a second round for my guy. Yeah.
Coming in hot, man. I saw the Zufa back signal, and I was like, oh, they're calling me for this one.
It's the rock. Bastards, we are back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We got a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot to talk about today. Yo, shout out okay, you already know. So Trees, you going with Albert Bell? You ain't you.
Oh, is that Trees? Okay.
Speaking Bell over Abdullah Mason. Okay.
Hey,
okay.
I do want to clear this up a little bit because I do remember this conversation. I think it was even on the night where you and Trees actually were getting at each other, right?
Yeah, he thought I was trying to play him.
Yeah, and it was, and you know, and again, we don't do that no more, Trees. Like we don't really like going to channels that don't like us, you know. But this was the whole thing where you actually were saying this, like prior to any of this happening. Prior to TNT, I think this was even prior to Abdullah Mason becoming a world champion. So this was manifested from Claymore Reigns' mouth.
Yes, this was
before he
it was before. Yeah. No.
I remember this, Clay, because unlike other people, I do keep receipts. No. Because like I said, like one of the things is I remember this. You were trying to get out there, trying to be positive with people, and then we found what you've often said, which is the reason why you built this channel is so that you can say whatever the hell you want, and ain't nobody can really say nothing about it, whether you like us or you don't like us. You don't got to stay on or whatnot. And all my Zufa people on the chats, you already know, man. I tried to be a prophet. I tried to tell them. But then what was happening, Clay? they're throwing stones at your brother, man. And then they start calling you Zufa Clay. Next thing you know,
I'm still Zufa Clay.
I'm just saying, man.
The other day, Bernard called me Zufa Clay.
Everybody just comes to ATP Combat to actually get the real news and the positive vibes, and that's how it is. But I do remember when you and Treese were going at each other. Your point was, you know what would be nice is if Abdullah Mason were to have a homecoming in Ohio, and what better opponent than Albert Bell, who keeps trying to get a fight. And then Treese came on and was like, why are you trying to get my guy killed? And he was, I mean,
he said, why are you trying to get my guys to fight each other? I know what you're trying. He's like, why are you trying to get my, because he wasn't, I don't think he was worried about Albert Bell, but he just didn't like the idea of me making an Ohio guy fight an Ohio guy in Ohio,
right,
when Albert Bell should be fighting Shakur at the time, right?
Right.
At the time, Albert Bell should have been fighting Shakur. But this fight right here, stylistically, is a fight that I've seen the writing on the wall for. I really felt like this would be a great fight. So, I mean, you ain't gonna get no complaints from me about this.
No, me neither. I think this was great. They should have made this the first time. In fact, let me just say this right now. If they had announced Albert Bell versus Abdullah Mason before Joe Cordina, and I understand why they did Joe Cordina. He was the #1 mandatory. He got into some law trouble, can't get into the United States, blah, 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 right? They set up Albert Bell for Andy Cruz. That was supposed to be July 18th at Carson, right? But at the end of the day, my point is this. If they would have just announced Abdullah Mason versus Albert Bell in Ohio like months ago, they probably would have already sold the place out because the tickets are jumping up now. And a lot of people don't give a lot of credit to Albert Bell being a ticket seller, man. He got a lot of people coming in to that area to want to support Campagna. So, hey, man, I'm going to tell you what, don't do something crazy. Don't do some crazy odds makers and make this like a plus 1,000 against Albert Bell, because you're going to see a lot of us betting on Albert Bell, bro.
Listen, I'm wondering. I'm literally, first of all, shout out to from Sam from Jersey, man. I appreciate you, man, with the $20 via Cash App, man. Support the grind. Support the grind, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support, man. Listen, man. This fight, you won't find me complaining at all about it, but I do have to ask questions about it and see how you feel about it, because is this somebody you want a last-minute replacement? Do you want to have a last-minute replacement be Albert Bell if you're Abdullah Mason? Is this the kind of fight? I mean, this has the makings of, dare I say, an upset?
Yeah. I mean, and really, for as long as we, and we watch boxing deep, right? So for as long as we've known this, what was the whole thing about Albert Bell? Albert Bell is a tough fight for anyone, but no one wants to fight him because stylistically, it's a bad fight, right? It's one of those things where Albert Bell's coming in there with his game. And what's his game, Clay? Style box you, baby. He's going to sit there. He's going to score on you. He's going to be slick. He's going to get out the way. So what has Abdullah Mason been preparing for? Joe Cordina. Is Joe Cordina some slick dude? Like, trying to, he ain't no slick guy. He's not that. He's not Albert Bell. So if you spent the whole training camp with basically less than 2 weeks to go, or about 2 weeks to go, and then all of a sudden they go, hey, man, sorry, brother, you got to go fight Albert Bell. Now, again, I'm not trying to downplay how good Abdullah Mason is as a talent, Claymore. I'm not.
Right.
But he did barely beat Sam Noakes.
Right.
Now, to his credit, he barely beat Sam Noakes because he chose to fight Sam Noakes' fight. Now, this is where I say to you, this is why I feel like this might be the Albert Bell moment. He's in a Toledo, Ohio guy. He's always felt like everybody's ducking him, including Shakur. He's getting a last minute. So he's playing with house money.
Right.
His style is something we haven't seen Abdullah Mason ever deal with before.
So I'm going to go with this. Giovanni Cabrera. This is why I wanted him to fight Giovanni Cabrera. This is why I said, and it's coming back full circle to bite my guy in the ass. I'm a big Abdullah Mason fan, but when he didn't get that Giovanni Cabrera fight, I was really in my feelings about it. And I really it even made me nervous going into the Joe Cordina fight, right? Because Joe Cordina has a slickness about him, right? But the thing about Joe Cordina is at some point or another in the fight, he is willing to get into the firefight. And that's where Abdullah Mason will probably shine in those moments. And maybe even in the boxing, right? But Albert Bell is a bird of a different feather altogether. He's going to box. He's going to stay behind that lead hand. He's got that height. He's 6 foot tall. He's got that long reach. He's going to box. He's going to stay on that. Abdullah Mason's going to have to cut that ring off. He's going to have to be patient, and he's going to have to so look, this is what it is at the end of the day. This is either going to make Abdullah Mason and give him everything that he's been missing, right, from his arsenal, or he's going to get exposed. He's young enough either way to come back from this a better fighter one way or the other, right? But he's not necessarily promised to walk away with his title on July 4th.
And I'll tell you, man, we just saw what happened with Justin Gaethje, right? Justin Gaethje's fighting in America. He's an over 6-1 underdog. Ilia Topuria is supposed to kill him. Ilia Topuria is younger. Ilia Topuria has all the advantages, and what happens, bro? Biggest upset, maybe in UFC history, but maybe not, because Holly Holm knocked out Ronda Rousey, but it's certainly the viewership. Well, guess what, Clay? This is on TNT. This is on cable TV. How many people are actually going to get a chance to watch this main event between Abdullah Mason
this is a big
Albert Bell?
Day for Abdullah Mason, a huge day. And it's almost kind of like, oh, because I understand, man, what do you do in a situation like this? You can't turn away this fight. You can't play the politics. You can't be the businessman and be like, I don't fight unless I get a full camp to prepare for a fighter like Albert Bell. This is 4th of July weekend, homecoming in your state. This is opening the doors of the foundation to the relationship between the Zone and TNT. I mean, the pressure's on. And right now with the Zone right now, the way they're running it, they're asking for the biggest fights. They're not letting it slide, bro. Like, right? They're not allowing any of these promotional companies under their banner to get away with any weak-ass fights. They're like, nah, we need this fight to hit. Albert Bell, they're like, blah, blah. He's undefeated. He really knows how. We didn't prepare for him. I don't give a fuck, because this ain't about Top Rank. This ain't about Abdullah Mason's ass. God bless him. This is about us going to war with the rest of the boxing space. We telling you to take over 2026. We're going to make our mark, and we're going to barbecue a mildew. Sorry. So Abdullah Mason has to take this fight. And I'm not saying that he would turn it away because he has an appetite for smoke, but it is if you're an Abdullah Mason fan, you got to be sitting on the edge of your seat right now, and be like,
we spent so much of Tuesday talking about Xander Zayas versus Boots Ennis, and then we were saying how, well, who on Xander Zayas's resume has he ever fought that's like Boots? And then people would go, well, who has Boots ever fought that's like Xander? So then I ask you right back, Clay, who in Abdullah Mason's respectfully built up record? Respectfully.
Nobody.
All right. But who? Because Sam Noakes was hard enough. But right after Sam Noakes, bro, you get Albert Bell. Ooh, boy.
Listen, Abdullah Mason, if you're talking about being in a firefight, you can have a lot of faith in Abdullah Mason, right? This is where he shines. This is what he does. But I haven't seen him in front of that boxer. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen him around that guy who's going to, be on some cerebral energy, really just controlling, winning rounds. This is very similar to a Robert Merriweather and Tony Hirsch, right? Right?
Good one. Good one.
Very, very similar to where it's like, okay, but this is different energy. You got to be able to manage this a little bit differently. Abdullah's got to put rounds in. He's got to, and this will be a 12-rounder. This is for his belt. So he's got to take the lion's share of 12 rounds here in front of this boxer. It's a conundrum, man. It's a conundrum for Abdullah Mason.
And if you think about, again, the attitude of what these fighters are going through, and I get it, man. I'm sure Abdullah Mason, young as he is, I think he's 22 now. He's sitting there, and I'm sure there's going to be a good team around him trying to get him not to be on the mental side. But when you're 22, man, and you're the world champion, and you're the one being hunted, you have everything to lose. Right. Albert Bell, who's been waiting for his opportunity for so many years, he's got everything to gain, bro. I know if I was a matchmaker, I would have tried my best to not have picked Albert Bell. I'd have been like, can we get Andy Cruz instead? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, can we get somebody else? But Albert Bell, bro.
I think either one of them is going to be an issue without a full camp. You want to build your camp up. You know what I'm saying? Around Andy Cruz or Albert Bell. But I'm in agreement with you though, because there's an argument there to say that Andy Cruz would have been the better choice.
Yeah.
Because he's bigger. You know what I mean? Abdullah Mason, you're bigger, you're stronger. And then he is operating with that Bozy Ennis system. So that means Andy's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? To get hit. Albert Bell is probably watering right now. Like, listen, I think there's a good argument there to say that Albert Bell should be very confident going into this fight. Like, I'm about to become WBO champion. Oh shit.
Yeah.
They effed up. I'm about to get me a
they
belt.
messed up.
God is good. I was going to fight for an eliminator, and I'm about to become champion in front of the state that I'm from in Ohio.
Right.
I'm about to become a star.
Yep.
You know what I mean? This is
on cable TV, Clay. On cable TV, TNT, baby. This is TNT is such a big platform for free television access, right? If they had to put Xander Zayas versus Boots Ennis on TNT, it'd get more play. Like, there'd be more advertising about it. I mean, Eddie's just, I don't know what Eddie's doing. This is not being advertised enough. But we're advertising the hell out of it because we're in this space. But I'm just saying, like, they actually, and it's not like they paid us money to advertise Xander Zayas versus Boots Ennis. I'm just saying that, it's such a good fight, you should be talking about it. Right. But on TNT, trust me, Clay, going up to July 4th weekend, TNT Boxing, bro, they're gonna advertise the shit out of that. They're probably asking Albert Bell to video. They're probably doing videos on Albert Bell right now so that they can pump it up with like a week, 7 days, 10 days prior to July 4th weekend. So this is amazing, man. I'm so happy for
a better fight. It's a better fight. It's a better fight for boxing fans. This is a great fight. And this literally like the Tim Tszyu Sebastian Fundora situation, where it was horrible for Tim Tszyu, but for boxing it was like, this is way better than Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman, right?
Oh yeah.
This is like almost the same situation. It's like, Albert Bell, way better than Joe Cordina versus Abdullah Mason. But for Abdullah Mason, ouch.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how I look at it.
And then the other thing too, again, is there's no subscription base to this. If you unless you have, I mean, TNT is a cable-based TV. So even for the casual sports fans who are not subscribed to DAZN, they're going to get a moment to watch this. Clay, Albert Bell versus Abdullah Mason, and they're going to be doing
a great
promos.
Undercard. Shoo's fighting on the undercard. Yeah. Tiger Johnson. This is a great card,
Tiger Johnson. Yeah, man. Yeah, no, this is great. Good job. Good job for not ducking the smoke.
The zone is fighting, right? The zone, you got to give them their props. The zone is fighting.
For July 4th, for sure.
Yeah,
for July 4th, for sure.
Right. They're like, yo, I don't care.
Right.
They're making it happen. They made it clear.
Yeah.
In other news, Brian Norman Jr. comes out. I was going to play a clip, but I don't really feel like getting into it. It was just basically him saying Keyshawn Davis is, isn't like that. He's a crash out. He said he's a crash out. You know what I'm saying? He's really not that disciplined. He's not that focused, and he ain't calling my name out because he knows better. I love it. I love every minute of it. Maybe he's right. Maybe he's exaggerating. I don't know, but I just know if these guys fight each other, it's going to be a shootout. Clearly, right?
Right.
Forget about my picks. But Brian Norman Jr. putting his name in the conversation, he sees as a potential opening there because we don't know what Devin's going to do yet with this whole entire mandatory. We don't know if he's going to vacate and go to make the super fight with Shakur Stevenson. And I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, right? I'm leaning towards him making the fight happen with Keyshawn Davis. But what do you think about Keyshawn Davis, Brian Norman Jr.? Has he gotten that much better? Has Ronnie Shields really improved him that much? What did we see from him against Josh Wagner in a round and a half? Where are we at with that?
Yeah, we were calling that fight, and I know you were very upset at the dude with his shoulder, and you didn't get to see much.
That was corny.
Brian Norman looked at the camera like, really? Right? So I'm sure Ronnie Shields has made Brian Norman a lot better, whether it's both mentally and also maybe technique-wise. I don't know. I know the mental space is going to be more important. Brian Norman that night looked confident. Keyshawn was there also. So Keyshawn's just a whole nother animal when you talk about someone who really believes in himself. And if Keyshawn does not get a fight with Haney, which is still possible, Clay, I'm telling you, man, people don't believe me on this shit. I keep saying just because Haney's not fighting Shakur doesn't mean he's not going to be with Zufa. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So, but if Haney chooses, because of whatever, not to fight Keyshawn, Clay, right? Keyshawn versus Brian Norman, that's a good little September TNT, because they're supposed to do TNT once a month. That's a September TNT, bro. That's TNT cable TV, Brian Norman versus Keyshawn Davis for the vacant WBO, because you know that's what's going to happen. If Haney does not fight Keyshawn Davis, it's going to be vacated WBO championship on TNT. They just did a WBO fight on July 4th. They're about to do a title fight, Lamont Roach, William Spada in August. That's TNT. So then you go to September TNT and you make that Brian Norman versus Keyshawn. I like it. I think it's a good fight. I think there's a lot of questions being asked about it, right? Can Brian Norman be ready? Is Keyshawn Davis really a 147? I like it. I actually like, you know what? I'll even say this. I like that fight more than I like Haney versus Keyshawn.
Yeah, I think, I'm in agreement with you. I think there's an argument there to say that Keyshawn could use a welterweight fight before he gets in there with Devin Haney, who Devin Haney is the best welterweight in the world, man. The experience is there. He is who he is. Sometimes people get it twisted. I don't know. They want us to be like saying Haney sucks or we want to see him exposed or something like that. No, Haney's one of the best boxers pound for pound in the world, period. This task would be a tall task for Keyshawn Davis without a doubt. Do I think he's a game opponent no matter what? Of course. But, I would say for Devin Haney, though, at the same exact time, you might be smarter to take Keyshawn now rather than later. Because I think eventually you guys are going to fight. And I think Keyshawn's just going to get better. You know what I mean? So if you were...
Is he, Clay? Because what if he loses to Brian Norman? No, he will. I'm just saying, what if he loses to Brian Norman? What if his first is against Brian Norman?
Of course. But on the back end of him beating Brian Norman Jr. and dominating Brian Norman Jr. or doing something like that, he's going to be better.
Okay. Right? No, you're right.
You're right. What I'm saying. I'm saying if you really think Brian Norman's going to beat him, Devin, then yeah. But if you think he's probably going to be Brian Norman, he's just going to get better. The interest will compound with Keyshawn as he adds more victories to his resume and gets more signature names to his resume. The more he's going to not only get better as far as a boxer, but the more his body is going to acclimate to 147. He will become stronger. He will become faster. He will become more experienced. He will be a lot easier now than later if it plays out that way. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm leaning towards Keyshawn to be Brian Norman Jr. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with you, but we'll see.
Well, let me do a little Bill Haney for you though, then, and say Debo's not afraid of anyone, Claymore. Debo wants to take them at their best. Debo don't want no excuses. He wants everybody at their prime and at their best. And let me tell you something right now,
brother.
Sound like Hulk Hogan's brother.
I was waiting for the brother. Let me tell you something right now, brother.
This is what Bill Haney would do, though, Clay. Bill Haney would say, "No, you're wrong, Clay, because when if Keyshawn does beat, good for Keyshawn if he could beat Brian Norman, but now it's a bigger fight, Clay. There's more money because they're going to compare my son and the beating he gave Brian Norman to the split decision win that Keyshawn might have gotten over Brian Norman, and now we got more money in the pot, Claymore. More money in the pot.
It can't get bad. It can't get bad for Debo. It only gets better for Debo. The bigger the challenge, the bigger it can't hurt Debo. Get it out your mind. You might be right. You might be right, Bill. I apologize because I'm sure there's parts of me when I'm talking this way that sounds like, I think Devin's going to lose or something. And I hate to sound like that, but, we try to be balanced around here. The fans drive us crazy. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Shout out to JD 4321 in the building. Says Zufa is shaking things up in boxing. Ugh. Directly and indirectly. Other promoters have to tighten up, but because they are here to stay. That is a major factor. And I preach this at the highest mountaintop that I can. At the highest mountaintop, Angelo, I say, worst case scenario. The worst case scenario. Zufa Boxing has stirred up the boxing space and forced them to compete. And as customers, we win. Yeah, we the pretty little ladies at the bar in the club, and all the men want to court us, buying us drink, offering us, hey, pretty lady, pulling out chairs for us. You know what I'm saying? They're opening doors for us again. Chivalry is not dead, Angelo. Chivalry is not dead. It is back, man. And as a boxing fan, you got to be excited about being a boxing fan right now because they're competing. They're competing for our attention, as they should have been competing. But is there an argument there to say, it wouldn't have been there if Zufa didn't come and shake up the space, if Turkey didn't come and shake up the space and give them something to fight over? right?
Yeah, no, the biggest thing that Turkey's been doing a lot since 2023, right? Once he decided I'm all in on boxing, then he went and bought the Ring magazine. He put a Battle to the Baddest, October, Riyadh, right? That's when we first got to see Moses Itauma, right? I believe he was fighting Dempsey McKean at that time, knocked Dempsey McKean out in the first round. Shout out to Dempsey McKean, who just won the other day in Australia, by the way. He just won as the co-main event on that Liam Paro Crocker fight. Shout out to Liam Paro.
We called that, by the way, told the world.
Yeah, you're a new player, and you're the money man right now in terms of you getting money, because you got plenty of choices, right? But the best thing that Turkey's probably ever done was shake hands with Dana White March 2025. And since that time, Clay, have we been wrong at all?
No. Since that time, the eyebrows went up. Right? The one eyebrow went up, bro. Something's going on. Something going on in the building, man. Bomb the virtuoso in the building with the $5. Says Rohan Polanco, more Norman Jr. speed. Wait, Rohan Polanco, more Norman Jr. speed. He better leave Keyshawn alone. Keep grinding, Clay. No doubt, man. I think Brian Norman's a great fighter, but he hasn't shown me the improvements all the way. I think Josh Wagner, there was an opportunity to see it, but Josh I saw a lot of things in that little round and a half, whatever it was. Yeah, I saw things. I saw him not collapsing the pocket, being patient. You know what I'm saying? There were points where Josh Wagner was laying on the ropes. I think an old Brian Norman would have rushed him, would have put more pressure and given Josh Wagner an opportunity to time up and do all that stuff. And he controlled that range. He was very patient. So I saw those little nuances, those little things that got worked on, but we haven't really seen him implement it all the way. I didn't see nothing in there. Let's put it this way. Before the fight with Josh Wagner, I didn't give Brian Norman Jr. a chance against Keyshawn Davis, right? I thought what I saw him do against Devin, I thought, because the things that happen in fights like that, the one that happened with Devin, the things that happen is real smart fighters. Because it's not, because some people might want to say, oh, Clay's throwing out Brian Norman Jr. because of one fight. That's not what it is. What it is that data gets processed. And when you get exposed, smart fighters pick up on your weaknesses. They see you for what you are, and they're able to adjust, right? So it's like, yes, if you're a boxer, Angelo, and you're a cerebral boxer, and you watch that fight with Devin, you fight Brian Norman Jr. differently now. Right. You're like, oh, he can't do that very well. I do that. But when you don't know, it's what they say is better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. So when that exposing happens, I do give Keyshawn Davis way more of a higher chance of winning that fight than I did before, because I know Keyshawn and his team are processing this real-time Brian Norman Jr. So did I see enough in that fight with Josh Wagner to negate everything that I think Keyshawn saw from Brian Norman Jr. in the Devin Haney fight? No. So I think Brian Norman is improving without a doubt, but I still got to favor Keyshawn Davis in that fight, for me personally. And
if I could just do, because again, we make it entertaining for you guys. So if I could just push back a little bit on why I would say I actually would favor Brian Norman, right? And a reason why I just wanted to do the pushback, keeping it entertaining for our listeners and our replay gang. Who in Keyshawn Davis's entire pro resume has he ever fought that's got the power, the explosion, the athleticism that Brian Norman would show?
I mean, I have two names I would bring up, but they don't match it. I think Brian Norman's a little bit more explosive, but I would definitely go with Gustavo Lemos a little bit. And I would go with Miguel Medueno a little bit as well. But they're not on the level of Brian Norman Jr. They're not on
the level of Brian Norman. Now, you couple that with the fact that I've never seen Keyshawn fight at 147. I have seen Brian Norman put people to sleep.
He's been campaigning and knocking people out.
Isn't this what the whole Xander Zayas argument is right now? Well, Xander's been 154 the whole time. We've only seen Boots at 154 one time, right? Like, well, then it's the same argument, because at a certain point, we can't just look at Keyshawn and go, man, we really like Keyshawn and we really like what we see. But Clay, that's like us going into like a restaurant, right? And we keep seeing the food, we keep seeing it, and it looks beautiful and it looks nice, but we haven't tasted it yet. So how do we know we're gonna like it? I don't know if I'm gonna like Keyshawn at 147. I know I liked him at 135, loved him at 135. I'm okay with him at 140. I mean, like he did Jermaine Ortiz. All right, cool. I was okay though. I wasn't like, wow, Nahir Albright. Yeah, I didn't have much fun on the Nahir Albright. I thought that dish was okay. I it was an okay dish, right? But now you're asking me, you're selling me, Clay. You're making this dish for me, like Brian Norman. Look, Angelo, Brian Norman, Keyshawn. Look how beautiful it looks. I don't know how that should taste. It might be ass. I don't know. So I'm just saying. I like it.
No, I like it. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair take. 100%. I think it's a fair take. Although I'll just say Devin Haney came up out of nowhere and was the only guy to put Brian Norman in his pockets like that, right? What do you mean? Like he got put on his pockets before, but Devin Haney came up, Mr. Pillow Fisted Devin Haney. Mr. Can't knock anybody out. Devin Haney came out, put a nasty ass right hand across the bridge of that boy's nose and pushed his nose sideways. You know what I'm saying? And sat him on his pockets, bro. You never know. You never know. But I like it though. You're right, man. He's campaigning. He's more than acclimated. It's his home. He was the HNIC. He was the number one guy at 147 for a reason. So yeah, man, that's who Keyshawn be fighting, right? But I think there's a great argument on the back end of a Brian Norman victory for Keyshawn Davis to be the only logical step for Devin Haney, right? If he does that, I mean, he arguably is beating the number 2 guy at the welterweight division. So it is what it is. But I love the take. I think the take is official. I do recognize that. That could be an issue, man. That 147. Does it translate? I don't know.
If I was the zone, though, make that fight. Make that your September TNT month, once a month on TNT, because that would be fantastic. Brian Norman, Keyshawn Davis. Make it happen.
100%. Shout out to Atheist Ghostbusters in the building. Atheist Ghostbusters. It sounds like you guys like the Norman roadblock more than Bill promoting it on X. We have to stop allowing fighters to duck mandatory. Not okay. Oh, ain't nobody listen. I didn't even know that Bill was running a campaign to like support this fight. Listen, bro, we talk about the fights that are on the table, bro. Brian Norman Jr. is talking. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. We're not promoting the fight. We're just saying we love that fight as well, man. As far as Bill Haney's concerned, he's doing his job. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We don't get that deep into it. We're not people's court. Sometimes it sounds like we are, but that's not what we are. You know what I'm saying? We are pundits in the space, and we're going to analyze it all for the community. You know what I'm saying? We're going to bring it to the table, and we're going to talk about the good, bad, the ugly, and in between, man. As much as it sounds, I think at times people feel like we're holding people accountable, and I think at times we do. We hold the sanctioned bodies
we totally
accountable.
hold people accountable. Yeah, we totally
but more importantly, you read the bottom of my picture. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're about. Make the fights.
Right. Make the fights, man. Make the fights and make the fights and make it accessible. That's what we care about. Make boxing great again is the mantra of making it free, man. Remember when Turkey went on the Boxing Voice and said he's working on making it free? Well, he's worked on it. He just happened to be on Paramount Plus.
Right. He thought he could do it.
99 cents right now, by the way, Clay. If you all want to sign up to Paramount Plus, it's 99 cents for 3 months.
That for how long?
3 months. 3 months, 99 cents.
I don't like shit like that, bro. I'm paying full price. I want a prorate. Show me some love. I've been supporting. Don't do that. Don't give away my shit for 99 cents, because that's my shit now. Once I pay full price, it's my shit, bro. And you giving my shit away for 99 cents, I'm feeling some kind of way about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean? If I buy a Rolex right now for 30 grand, bro, and it's a nice Rolex, and I see it a week later for 5 grand, I'm in my feelings, Angelo. I'm in my feelings, bro. I'm going back to the Rolex store. Listen, bro, make me whole, brother. That's all I'm saying. Make me whole. You know what I'm saying? Am I lying, Angelo? Come on, bro.
And by the way, this is a perfect time for me to say shout out to Costco. The reason why I love Costco, Clay, is it's the only place you could literally walk in and return something that you bought years ago, even if it broke, bro. Even I just did it the other day. I was like, you know what? I don't like these pillows. They were like, what was wrong with them? They were sinking on me, man. And then they totally took them back. Bought myself some new pillows on sale.
Hey, bro, sometimes that's all it means, because we ain't trying to complain. We just saying being fair. Be fair. You know what I'm saying? Don't change shit up and then charge. Don't do that. Don't do that. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who's going to be paying the 99 cents. I'm not hating on your win, bro. I'm not hating on your come up. I might be hating on your come up, but I'm not. That's not my intention. I'm trying to get Paramount to act right with me. It's a personal thing between me and Paramount. You just getting caught up in an argument. I'm not trying to hate on you. I'm just trying to get Paramount to act right, bro. Because what's right is right. And anyway, let's keep it moving anyway, right? Let's not make it about
Dutton Ranch, by the way, guys. If you haven't been watching Dutton Ranch, you need to catch up. That show. Do you like that show, by the way, Clay? Just a little side note. Dutton Ranch, the Dutton
Stop
Ranch.
playing with me, bro. Dutton Ranch has got lit. Dutton Ranch did what Dutton Ranch do, finally. Because we've been watching it move around, and I've been waiting for the
big one.
You know what I'm saying? Boy, boy, you're not even my son. Embarrassing me out here like that. I'm gonna whoop your ass when we get home, boy. I done treated you like my damn child. And you up in here in these people's party acting a damn donkey. Can't take your ass nowhere, bro. Oh, disgusted, bro. Disgusted with that activity. First of all, is he even old enough to drink? Anyway, that being said, made the lady have a stroke and everything. Boy, you come over here and fuck up everything. We done killed all our damn cattle because they got sick. The lady finally showing us some love, giving us some work, and you come and you fuck with her shit. You fucking the daughter and you're fucking up the damn house. God, bro, we just got here. Anyway.
You guys got to watch Dutton Ranch, guys. Go watch Dutton Ranch so you know what the player's talking about.
Kids, Angelo, bro, you got to rein them in. If you don't rein them in, bro, you know what I'm saying? Little too much freedom. It started when I seen you passing that beer. It was just wrong. It was just wrong now. Learn from your mistakes. Anyway, that being said, Jermall Charlo, Errol Spence, having a media training. They're allowing the media in the gym now. You know what time it is. It's build a fight up time. So Jermall Charlo being available for questions and Errol Spence Jr. being available for questions. Did you get a chance at all to see any of that media at all?
Just little here and there. I saw. Was it Errol Spence's aunt that was holding the pads? Because I thought that was kind of cool if that's his aunt.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about the lady that was holding the pads for Errol. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. It looked like
he looks like he's in shape. Again, he hasn't fought since 2023, so I don't know what the punch resistance is going to be like. Again, man, the only reason why I'm making that such a 50-50 fight, even based on what I saw, is just when you haven't been in the ring for that long and you're fighting someone who's gotten essentially two really good, like, I don't want to call them tune-up fights, but you know what I'm saying? Like Tim Tszю's getting his confidence kind of like up the right way. And you're fighting in Australia. I mean, we just saw what happened with Lewis Crocker versus Liam Paro. I didn't even ask you how you scored that, but honestly, man, if that was in the UK, I think Crocker would have gotten it.
Well, that's what it is, right?
I think if it was in America, it probably would have been a draw because I scored it a draw, me myself. But I'm not hating that Paro won. At the same time, he didn't really show me that he wouldn't be the type of champion that could lose to Manny Pacquiao right now. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, Liam Paro. I didn't score it because I was working and I was watching it as I was moving around. I wasn't home for it, right? But I think the more important thing that I pull away from that, I have no problem with the decision, right? It was a close fight. And look, you're in the enemy's backyard. You're in Australia. Lewis Crocker, somebody who's used, and that's the problem, right? Lewis Crocker is somebody who's campaigned most 90+% of his career in Ireland, and he's become accustomed to the judging of Ireland, and he's not used to having to. The judges have a relationship with him in Ireland. They know what he looks like, and they're used to him, and he scored accordingly. Like he's in control of this fight, is what he's doing. But see, that's what happens when you stay local and you get familiar with those local judges. I'll give you somebody. Well, I'm not going to say. I was going to say David Morrell because there was a point in time when he was in that damn in Minnesota just way too long, or Minneapolis, whatever it was, one of the places, way too long. And he kind of like left it. And now you've got to actually do things, and he wasn't able to get that separation that he needed. He really kind of got exposed, but Lewis Crocker was destined to lose that fight, man. You're a domestic fighter with the belt. That's what he was to me. He was a domestic fighter with a sanctioned and body belt, bro. He was never world level to me. I thought Paddy Donovan beat the brakes off of him the first time, and I thought the second time there was an argument to say Paddy Donovan won that fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I gave it to Lewis Crocker, but I think it was very competitive. I think Paddy got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, you know what I'm saying? That happened, and you gotta give credence to that. But at the same time, the rest of the fight, I thought Paddy was was working with him. They called Patty domestic. Lewis Crocker never did anything to leave the domestic category for me, except for get a belt that was vacant for you know, I mean, it was pretty much, well, it was a vacant belt, right? It was a straight up vacant belt.
So yeah. Crocker to you is Fabio Wardley. That's what you're telling me. You're saying Crocker.
No, he's better. He got a better pedigree than Fabio Wardley, but Crocker to me is
Mario Barrios?
Mark Chamberlain.
Mark Chamberlain.
Who I'm a big fan of, but hasn't never crossed over into the world level. He had an opportunity when he got in there with what's my guy's name who just beat the brakes, who beat Echo Usman up there, Jack Rafferty. He had an opportunity. He had an opportunity to kind of become world level in that fight, but he kind of got exposed. No, honestly, he got exposed with my guy Josh Padley, to be honest with you. That's when he really got exposed to being domestic, because Josh Padley was literally coming off the roof changing shingles and came and whooped his ass. And that was like, damn, Mark, I thought you were better than this. You know what I mean? But that's who he is to me. So I'm happy with the decision, because I think Liam Paro is a road warrior. He is willing to move around with his belt. He won't turn down smoke. He's going to fight the fights. And I think, 147 is better off as far as sanctioning body belts, as far as the idea of unifications, as far as all those things are considered. Liam Paro is a better ambassador for that belt than Lewis Crocker. I think Lewis Crocker would have given us that Nick Ball shit. You know what I mean? He'd have been fighting.
I'm glad you're bringing that up, because it's interesting you say that, because this is a nice little opening for me to ask you. So No Limit Promotions is very smart. They funded it themselves. They did it in Australia. I don't think they'd have a problem with working with Zufa. So what do you think about unification between Haney and Liam Paro?
I think that's right there. I think it's a literal, I think it could happen easily. I think Liam Paro is you pay me the money, he's willing and able, bro. He believes in himself. He's not trying to protect. He doesn't think he's going to lose. He thinks he can win. He thinks he can box. And he's not delusional. He can box. He's had good boxing matches, man. You know what I'm saying? He obviously beat Subriel Matias, you know what I'm saying? And even with Montana Love, you know what I'm saying? He handled his business. With Richardson Hitchens, he lost that fight, but I thought he boxed. He boxed in that fight, you know what I'm saying? I do think, though, another thing that got exposed in that fight was that Liam Paro is, in my personal opinion, a little too small for 147.
Yes, he is a small 147, man.
Yeah.
He really is a small 147, which is why he's the money. When I said he's the money man, what I meant for him is there's literally options for him on the table right now. What if Tank Davis wants to crack at an IBF title, right? Tank Davis could go up there and fight a smaller 147 guy. What about Manny Pacquiao? They're already talking about the Floyd Mayweather fight got canceled this week. The CSI thing is a real thing that's happening to his career. They're already saying that he might not be able to. Dan Raphael is reporting on it. He's saying it's looking like the Pacquiao fight is off the table. Well, Pacquiao needs an opponent. How about Pacquiao Paro in Australia? That would sell a lot of tickets. Tons of Filipinos in Australia also, right?
100%.
See what I mean? Like, there's a lot of ways for Paro to make money right now, and I think he's just going to wait it out and see who's going to give him the absolute max offer. And, if Zufa's on the table, I'm just going to say it. Paro, Haney?
I think Liam Paro, if I was managing Liam Paro, I'd get him at least 1 to 2 title defenses before I put him in any of those conversations, because that boy needs to acclimate. He ain't no 147 pounder, bro. And I think he could build it up, build it up a little bit, get some victories under his belt, get some title defenses, be somebody who's defended his title in Australia, work that scene a little bit. Australia has a great boxing community, good fan space, and maybe even get a home field advantage, or force one of these guys to come to Australia to fight him at home and make an even bigger bag. Right? We saw Kambosos do that, right? Kambosos built himself up and became a payday. So even on the back end of a loss, if he builds up enough victories under his belt, he could continue to be a stepping stone for other big fighters who are trying to make a move like George Kambosos is doing. He can get some generational wealth out of it, right? No?
Hey, man, I wish you were the manager for Liam Paro, because what you're saying is No Limit already funded this one. Then why not fund a couple of smaller ones and let him be an Australian king, a two-time two-weight world champion in Australia? Be that. And
he's only like the second one, right? I think he's the second or third one, right?
He's only the second one, I think. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, you know what, Clay, you're right. Why get the big money right now when you can get the big money next year?
He's gonna lose. You know that. He don't got to know that. But if you're his promoter, come on, you're laughing, but it is what it is, right? He's not
anything can happen, Clay. Anything
but he's
can
not
happen,
favored,
bro.
Get the squeeze for the juice. You know what I'm saying? Get the squeeze. You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what's up. But okay. So, with that being said, though, Errol Spence speaking on, he really sounded like a fighter who wasn't that dialed into the game a little bit. Was just more, right? He's like, yo, we're gonna see how I feel after this fight, as far as his career is concerned. He's not talking about titles. He's not talking about unifications. He's not talking about bigger and better fights. He's like, I'm not thinking about anything but this fight. Which, listen, fine, right? The best fighters in the world know that. If you got Xander Zayas right now, what he plans on doing after Boots, he's going to be like, there is nothing after Boots. It's all about Boots. We'll talk about after Boots. And Boots is even saying the same thing. Hey, man, it's whoever. But right now, we're not looking past what's in front of us, which is Xander. So there's an argument there to say that that's what Errol was saying, right? That he was basically saying, I'm not looking past it. But the question asking him was about retirement. It was about longevity. It was about him being in a game. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about who you fight next necessarily, right? It was about ambitions for your career. And it was just, the answer came back very like, I don't know, man. We'll see, man. After this fight, we'll see where we're at. And my thing is, at the same time, Angelo, I saw a zen about him that I appreciated, that I thought was healthy for him. I saw somebody who was mentally healthy, who wasn't going to allow boxing to drown him. Like somebody who's coming from a space where boxing was everything. He's a man who's become very close to his family, his children, his woman, his mother, his father, all of these, his ranch, you know what I'm saying? All these different things that he has going for him. And he's just like, life isn't all about boxing anymore for me, which there was a part of me that was happy about that. I was like, that's what's up, Errol. But then the other part of me said, how does this Errol operate in boxing, though? You know what I'm saying? How does this Errol work?
That would have been that would have been my straight question to you, because you're good at reading people like that, and you're reading that, hey, this is positive for you as a human being.
Right.
But is it positive for him as a boxer who's hungry? Because, the whole silk pajamas thing, man, hard to run. And by the way, I'm not saying he doesn't look good. He looked good. He looked like he's ready to go, right? Mm-hmm. But looking good and being good after not having been in the ring since 2023, that's going to be two different things. And like I said, the only reason why I have it is a 50-50, then a flat out, no, Tim Tszyu's totally going to win. Because if we're doing this, just looking at facts, it's in Australia. Favor Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu's already had like a few fights to acclimate himself, right? To get ready for someone like an Errol Spence, right? Advantage Tim Tszyu, right? Younger, advantage Tim Tszyu. Like there's so many advantages to Tim Tszyu. So why does Angelo still have it 50-50? Because at the end of the day, it's Errol Spence, man. And if Manny Pacquiao can come back from a 4-year layoff and beat the brakes off of Mario Barrios just to get robbed into a draw, why wouldn't I believe that Errol Spence couldn't do the same? Of course, Errol Spence could come out there and do the same. So like you said, Clay, is this a good zen? Is this like a zen I'm in the moment, Errol Spence? Or is it I don't even really care if I lose or not. I just want to see if I still got it. Which one is it, Clay?
And even if I win, I don't even know if I care to keep. Like, it's like all bad, right? It's like, even in the victory, I might just be like, that's all I needed. I had an itch. I scratched it. He seems like he's still in his ranch riding his horse. He's still in the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? He don't drink no more. The drink helped him with the delusion a little bit, made him a little bit more angry, a little more emotional, a little bit more driven, a little bit more social. He's found himself. And I'm, like I said earlier, I'm so happy for him. Right. I'm very happy for him. But he looks more like an Andre Ward right now than Errol Spence before and Errol Spence before. He looks like Terrence a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Terrence is, whenever you see Terrence, it's like the last thing that man's thinking about is boxing. Anytime you see Terrence now, he's laughing it up next to Usyk. He's talking to Turkey. He's high-fiving fighters. He's out there wrestling a Jio Patai. Come here, tussle with you. And I'm just having fun with you. Life is good, brother. How's boxing treating you? Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. You're looking strong. Hope you get that fight. Are you going to fight? Go kill yourself. Nobody think about fighting. So Errol is looking like that to me. So I don't know what that translates into. I don't know what that translates into for boxing. So this fight with Tim Tszyu is going to be a very interesting fight on the back end of seeing that interview. And as far as Jermall Charlo is concerned, he's also there in that media getting his interviews. And then shout out to Champ Side. I seen you, Champ Side, over there getting that interview in the gym. And Jermall Charlo is focused, dialed in. As I've always told you, Jermall Charlo is one of those fighters. He reminds me of Keyshawn Davis. They remind me of each other. Outside of the ring, when they get away from boxing, they get a little in their head. And when they get in their head, it gets kind of crazy. But something about that gym, something about these fights dials these guys in. And Jermall Charlo continues to empower that perspective I have on him. And he's a dialed in focused person. And he's talking right? He's talking about the outside interference, the distractions, you know what I mean? His baby mother, you know what I mean? And the toxic relationship they have, and, you know, the difficulty on seeing his kids when he wants to see them, the toxic relationship he has with his twin brother, Jermall Charlo, right? And how that affects him and how he's dealing with all these things and how he's learned to compartmentalize them properly now, to where he's not allowing them to jump into his life. He's finding a way to manage that better. And I think the biggest thing is he's acknowledging it, right? Where he wasn't necessarily speaking on like that before. He was more so like, hey, life has its up and downs, but hey, man, I'm back, man. I'm ready to fight. Now he's like, nah, I know what it is. I haven't been able to be as active as I want to be. I haven't been able to do the things I need to do in my life because I keep on trying to manage this roller coaster thing called my personal life. And I'm learning to allow those things to lay down where they're at. They will fix themselves eventually, organically. But he seems very optimistic about his career. He's talking about being active. He wants to fight one more time this year. He's like, I'm trying to fight again before the end of the year. I'm going to do this fight, and I want to fight one more time again. He's talking about titles at 168. He's even talking about going up to 175 at one point. He was talking that far up. And I want to try my way at 175. And he talked about Terrence Crawford being, you know, accomplishing everything he wanted to accomplish at 36, 38 years old, 37 years old. And he's like, bro, I'm 32 or whatever, however, 34, whatever his age is. I don't know what his age is right now, but he feels like he's in his prime. He feels like he's feeling better. He said, no matter of fact, I think he's 36, and he said he feels like he's 32. He's like, I feel like I'm 32 or whatever. He was like, I'm in my prime, man. I'm in great shape. And it looks like he's eliminated a lot of devices as well. Maybe he's not drinking as much anymore. Maybe he's not doing a lot of things that he was doing before. So I like the effect that Ronnie Shields, I like the dynamic of Ronnie Shields, Brian Norman Jr., Errol Spence, and Jermall Charlo in the camp. And I'm feeling a little Avengers here. Like, I'm feeling like what Shakur and Keyshawn, all of them have,
like
is kind of building up over there.
Like a Justice
League is building up. And I think the product might be Jermall and Brian Norman Jr. I think Errol is good to be there as almost a leader, whether or not he continues to move on with his career and do a lot of great things. He looks like his presence is bringing everybody sort of a piece. And then you got Xavier and Ronnie Shields, right? So you got, I'm about to go Marvel on you mothers, right? X-Men on y'all. You got Cyclops, who's Errol, right? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That's fair. Cyclops is a good one. Because he's one of the OG guys. Okay.
The leader. He's not necessarily the best at any particular thing. He got the laser beam thing he does. Yeah. And that's always a problem if you get in front of it. But other than that, he's Cyclops. He's more a leader, right? He's more of a leader more than anything. He keeps everybody grounded. And then you got Jermall and Brian Norman Jr. You guys can pick your favorite X-Men characters and put them in place. But I'm keeping my eye on this camp, and I think some great things are gonna come out this camp, man. This little new team build up.
Man, I like it. I like the X-Men.
You like it?
That's right. I started thinking, so is Brian Norman Wolverine? What are we doing? Who's
Wolverine, right?
Yeah.
Somebody gotta be Wolverine.
In my head. Who's Beast in this? Is Jermall Beast?
Not Beast. I think Jermall might be. Is he Beast?
He might be Beast, man. Blue. He's scientific, but he's strong. You know what I mean? Like, it might be him.
Beast is he's so mentally strong. It's like, I don't think of Jermall like that. I think he's that now. I think Jermall might be Wolverine.
You think so? Because
he's a wild one. He's a wild one.
He's mental. He's had the wild life.
You got to think about it. Logan was a drinking, cigarette smoking, motorcycle riding. He was Jermall. And now he's kind of found this new chapter in himself. I think he's going to be Wolverine, and I will make Brian Norman Jr. maybe Beast.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can see Brian Norman being Beast because he's strong, smart. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that.
Poised, very good temperament. You know what I'm saying? But strong as hell. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It is what it is. All right. So that's how that goes. I wanted to talk a little bit about Ben Whitaker a little bit as well before we go into the Zufa conversation.
Of course.
Ben Whitaker, getting ready to fight against Popeye Rivera. You know what I'm saying? This fight is a fight where, even though I'm expecting Ben Whitaker to win this fight, it is lined up for him to mess up. He can mess this up if he doesn't do this the right way. If he doesn't approach this the right way. This is a tough fight for him. And, I just saw him on Ariel Helwani this morning. I watched it. I think he did the interview yesterday, though, but I saw it this morning.
He did it yesterday. Yeah.
And basically, Ariel talking about the playfulness, the Pernell Whitaker / he was comparing him to Boots because Boots has his fun in the ring, and just saying, it feels like that's been kind of dormant in Ben Whitaker since he's gotten with Andy Lee, that this wasn't no longer necessarily his game anymore. He was more focused, more of a serious boxer. On the back end of Terrence Crawford even saying, stop playing, right? Terrence telling him, hey, you great, bro, but you got to stop playing. I don't know how I felt about the answer all the way, because at one point the answer was, yeah, there's a time and a place for everything. Andy likes it, but there's a time and a place. I like that answer. What I didn't like was, hopefully we find an opportunity to do that in this fight. I ain't like that.
Okay. Like that. All right. I'll tell you, I liked the interview because he was very open, and you could see the Ben Whitaker that if Ben Whitaker had always been how he was with Ariel, he would have never messed up in Riyadh.
Right.
But he needed to mess up in Riyadh in order for him to find his calm. He almost now is like, I understand the entertainment value that I bring, because he talked about how he really loved the fact that people recognize him in New York. This is the first time he's fighting in the U.S. Ariel mentioned that, the U.S. does like the flamboyant and all of that good stuff. But you also notice in that interview, he talked about the bigger picture. Even the Benavidez conversation was there, and he was like, probably. But like everything he's saying now, it's almost, it's got like, you could tell his voice doesn't sound like let me hype things up. His voice now sounds like these are just a matter of fact, right? Like so what he was saying, in my opinion, with the Popeye Rivera fight is, it's like, well, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. But if it shows up, I might do something. But again, man, he might do what he's going to do. And like what I know you guys think I'm crazy, because I know you're picking below 6. So anyone who's picking above 6 because it's plus money has lost their mind. You're saying below 6. And I'm telling you, man, I give him 9 minutes. That's the most. I give Popeye Rivera 9 minutes, because after, if he goes past the 3rd round, I'll be shocked. Ben Whitaker, if you watch the pads, the way he's hitting right now, bro, this guy is huge. You see how tall he was when he shook Ariel's hand, man? He's got an 8-pack,
bro. He's ripped. He's hitting hard. He's laser. His punches are laser accurate. He's taking his time. This is going to be one of those fights. I believe you could be right, because this is how I feel about it. If Popeye violates, Ben's going to demonstrate. Yeah. So this is going to be on Popeye. Is he going to take his time, process the data, box? He can make this fight longer and take his opportunity later on. Let me get it past 5. Let me get it past 4, 5, 6 rounds and see if I can get him later on where he's not used to being tested the way I'm going to test him. But if you come early, trying to cross that line and just rush the shores of Berlin, bro, I'm telling you, bro, there's going to be some cannons waiting over there. There's going to be some big cannons waiting to knock you out. Remember Private Ryan?
Yep.
When they rush the shore? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be problems out here, bro. You don't want to just rush the shore. That was diabolical. We could have done that better. That's what I'm saying. That was crazy, bro. They was getting knocked down before they even got off the boat, and that could happen to Popeye. But I think Ben Whitaker is super dialed in, and I've already told you, man, Andy Lee is a trainer of the year candidate every year since Joseph Parker versus Deontay Wilder, right? It's like, it's like he's been in this space where he's zoned in. He's such a great trainer. The last student, in my opinion, of the late great Emmanuel Stewart, and he's doing so well with Hamza Shiraz. He's doing so well even with Patty Donovan. You know what I'm saying? Right? All those guys. So, and I love the dynamic of him and Ben Whitaker, and I see how excited Andy Lee is. Andy loves Ben. He's like, what?
Right.
He just warms his heart. He's like, he loves it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that team is there to win, man. And I 100% is still picking Ben Whitaker to win this fight. I still pick it inside of 6. But I think I brought it up just to be like, damn, I'm realizing and I'm acknowledging the magnitude and the importance of this fight for Ben Whitaker. This is a very, very important fight for him, debuting in the U.S. You know what I'm saying? On the back end of this, sky's the limit for him. Titles, it feels like 175 is wide open, right? It just feels like it's wide open because I don't believe David Benavidez comes back to 175.
No, why would David Benavidez come back, right? So there's even Ben Whitaker said it. It's like, I don't know if he'd want to come back.
Right.
I mean, David
and Artur Beterbiev on their way out the door, right? They're like 2 more fights, 3 more fights before they're making their way out. And he can maybe get a fight with one of them if he's able to collect the title, or he can maybe get a fight with one of them, right? So
yeah, I mean, but Beterbiev was just on with Max Kellerman, and they had Chance the Rapper and Caleb and Josh Downs on that show. But I think Beterbiev's really locked in on the Bivol trilogy, right? I think him and Bivol got to finish that story one way or another. Russia's paying them a lot of money. I agree with you that Benavidez will probably never come back to 175. So with that said, who is your superstar at 175? And why not Ben Whitaker if you don't have one that could be a superstar at 175, right? I mean, and he was, and even like, look at how transparent he was when Ariel had to bring up the contract thing. Like, can you tell us like how many more you got? And he was like, I mean, obviously there's competition out there. He's talking about Zufa being a part of it. Because remember, like from an interview from before that, he did the whole joke with, is that Zufa ringing? Remember when Ben Whitaker did that? And he's like, I'm just kidding, Eddie. But are you though, Ben? Are you right? Because good for boxing and free agents.
Keeping them on their toes, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying, make the most money you can. Because Eddie Hearn, you heard that interview. He spent all these interviews basically downgrading Johnny Fisher like he's garbage, right? If he's garbage enough to you that you're not willing to pay him the money that Zufa's willing to pay him, he's 27. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you go? Like it's a terrible argument. Whenever I hear that from people, like, man, that's a stupid thing for them to go to Zufa. Why? Because they're getting paid 6 times more for fighting easier fights? Maybe, right? Like that's like, because that's what Eddie was saying. When you guys see who Johnny Fisher's gonna fight, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, Eddie, so because you don't want to pay him that money when you had Johnny Fisher fighting those low-level people, like now Johnny Fisher is somehow supposed to, you know what I mean? So I'm going full circle in that. Ben Whitaker, I agree with you. I think that the 175 division is such wide open that Ben Whitaker wins in New York, you got yourself a making of a global star, right? Then he goes back to Nottingham. He does his whole Tottenham versus he's asking for Anthony Yard, so it could be like a soccer rivalry between Tottenham and Arsenal, right? Then let's say he beats Anthony Yard. And in fact, Clay, let's say he puts on a better performance against Anthony Yard than Benavidez did. Then going into 2027, man, Ben Whitaker with the anime. He talked about how Ice Cube blew him up. Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
Of his tattoo, right? And Ice Cube blew him up.
Wasn't it really O'Shea?
O'Shea Jackson. So, if he does it right, if Ben Whitaker for himself continues on the path of Andy Lee, continues to be the disciplined boxer that he's staying to be, and he gets that world title shot, when free agency comes, bro, or extension, Eddie got to show him the money. Eddie got to show him the money, just like Eddie had to show Bam the money. Eddie got to show people the money, man. So I'm with you. But I've always been a big Ben Whitaker guy, and everybody thinks I just like him because I like him. But I'm telling you, man, I watched how he dominated people in the amateurs, and don't let Imam Katayev fight him. I'll tell you that right now, Clay. Imam Katayev will get killed. So, but I'm excited about that fight. And actually, I don't know if it's true about Bryce Mills possibly being hurt or whatnot, but if the Emiliano Vargas thing kind of somehow get last minute opponent change, I could see them elevating Ben Whitaker up to co-main event, which would be kind of a cool thing, right?
For sure.
That Jihad Tucker one, though, man, I still think people aren't talking about it enough. Jihad
we're about to talk about it because that was definitely on my list right here to talk about was Jihad Tucker versus my guy Cedeno. Jihad has to pick a lane to a certain degree. I don't know if that will resonate with anybody in the building. Are you going to be the boxer? Are you going to be the puncher? Who is Jihad Tucker at 160? Who is he? I'm still in the air about this kid. Very talented from Long Island, New York. Super talented, without a doubt, but seems to be floating between somewhat of an identity crisis to a certain degree, right? He's unpredictable, and maybe that's the thing he brings to the table. Maybe him being unpredictable is who he is. Maybe being unpredictable is his superpower. Where are you with Jihad Tucker right now at 160? Like, where are you with him? Who is he to you?
From all the people that I've talked to that actually know Jihad, have been around Jihad, they all say the same thing, man. That guy's the real deal. Super talented, right? But is it kind of funny that he's still not settled with any one promoter? Like, because I hear the other side of it, which is I don't know Jihad. I've never spoken to Jihad, so I don't know what to think of him in that sense. So he's fighting someone in Yuri Cedeno, who is, in my opinion, he's the real deal. This guy's a for real power puncher. He you know how we were excited about Edwin De Los Santos when
I'm about to say he's a 150-pound Edwin De Los Santos.
Yes, yeah. And then we were like, damn, this guy really does hit hard. Like, don't get clipped by this dude, because this dude really does hit hard, right? Well, Yuri Cedeno also has that skill set too, right? I mean, the Dominican Republic, they're coming up with their fighters like right now in 2026. There's so many good talent. And Yuri Cedeno, this is his chance in not only the hardcore space, but the broad boxing space to show everyone I'm not a top rank hype job, guys. I'm not like 17-0 with 16 knockouts. And then you think it's because, I'm supposed to knock these people out. I'm good. And if you want me to prove it, I'm going to prove it right now, because Jihad Tucker, what are you going to say? What are you going to say if I knock out Jihad Tucker? Right? That's where Yuri Cedeno's mindset has to be at. So at this point, it's plus 130 for Cedeno as an underdog. If it goes above plus 200, I might have to put a little money on Cedeno, just because you never know. But I honestly believe that's a 50-50 fight, and I don't want to pick a winner, just because you're right, Clay. Which version of Jihad Tucker are we going to see? Which version, right? Is talent going to carry him in this fight? Are you saying that he's so talented that will be enough to carry him for the Cedeno fight, Clay?
It can.
Okay.
Is what I got, is all I can say, right? It can. Like I said, identity crisis for me. I don't know who he is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who he is. I think there's a version of him that can definitely handle Cedeno. I think he can box, control that range, win the line share, take advantage of a Cedeno who's going to be. But Cedeno's not super aggressive either. But he's good at waiting. He's patient, but very menacing at the same exact time. But if he makes it a war of attrition, Jihad, I think he can come up on the other side of that and maybe even hurt Cedeno, put Cedeno in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? He has the ability to do those things, but he has to be patient. I like the way he looked against Truck. You know what I'm saying? I thought Truck was a good experience for him to kind of see this very difficult version of him to beat that there is, right? There's this version of him that's not available to get punched on. That's not available. You know what I mean? That makes you work for everything you get. There's that version of him. But then there's this other version of him who gets into mixing it up, and he wants to slug it on. He wants to give it up for the crowd. And that guy is not the guy I want to see in the ring with Cedeno. You know, I don't want to see that guy in there with Cedeno. So, man, bro, yesterday I said it, and I got to stick to it, man. I'm still leaning Cedeno, but I'm 100% rooting for Jihad Tucker. That's why that's why I want to win. That's why I'll be happy to see win. That's why I want to see win. But he gets my nerves going sometimes. You know what I mean? Every now and then it's like, fuck, bro, this guy's just mixing it up a little too much. It is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, whoever wins this one, though, they definitely start to rise even more, because this was the fight that they should have been building up, because it really is going to be 50-50, two people that are on the brink, right? They're both young too. Clay, I think Cedeno is only 27. And I know Jihad is younger than him, so this is great. That's my fight of the night vote. It might even if they bang each other out to the point where it goes to decision pause to the point where it goes to decision. I think we're gonna see like a fight of the year candidate type.
Facts.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. So I'm excited for that.
We definitely should win as fans. We should win. That fight should deliver. As far as once the 160-pound division is concerned, it seems like it's coming together, man. We're having, I don't know if you're noticing it, but we're having a lot more 160-pound conversations. We're just falling into these conversations more and more. Obviously, you know, it's like out with the old and with the new, and you got this new generation of 160-pounders that are coming in there. And obviously, we haven't seen Xander join the party yet. We haven't seen Jerron Boots join the party yet. We haven't seen, you know, Charles Conwell or, you know what I mean, a lot of
Fundura is going to eventually have to go up.
He has to go up there. He has to go up there. So, and then, you know, Zufa is developing a 160 stable that is also in the conversation. So it's just like 160 is just cooking up, and Jihad Tucker is just another piece of the puzzle. You know, Amir Anderson, you know what I'm saying? These fighters that we're seeing just do great things in the division. Let's see who it is, man. Let's see if Jihad Tucker earns his spot in the conversation, because he feels like he should be there. It feels like he should be there. But
right. And Cedeno too. Cedeno should be there too, right? Like Cedeno, Tucker, like it's fun. It's fun. We'll see. We'll see. Shout out to our guy from the UK sending us the poundage, huh?
Yeah, Leonard shout out to my guy Leonard Sterling with the 5 pounds. Says PBC, TGB help No Limit to beat Matchroom in the purse bid. Notice the PBC logo on the poster. Can see if it's true PBC, or can see if it's true PBC doing Romero Tio for Paro. Paro versus who winner? Paro winner.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what he said. Yeah, he's saying that Paro would fight the winner of Rolly versus Tio if that happened. The only issue with that, though, is does unifications, and I know it's funny I'm asking you this, Clay, but since unifications trump mandatories, if the WBA has already ordered you 180 days, within 180 days, Rolly had to fight Jack. Like, how does it work if a unification comes in? Does the unification trump that? What do you know?
I wouldn't think that it does. I don't think the unification trumps a mandated order in order for a mandatory. I don't think so. I mean, I like what he's saying though, as far as No Limits relationship with the PBC and TGB and all that. I think that's true. I think that all makes sense. But it all depends, to be honest with you, when Rolly Romero and Tio is supposed to fight, right? If they end up fighting, you know, 4 months from now, 3 months from now, whatever it is, that kind of hurts that timeline. It's like right on the edge of being mandatory time. You know what I'm saying? So
and it also, by the way, depends on the type of deal that Keith Connolly is doing for Teofimo Lopez. Because let's say this is a 1-fight deal, right? Hey, it's a 1-fight deal to PBC. Does this fight? He beats Rolly. Bro, Tio's back. He got the belt. He can hold out and fight for money against Catterall. I don't think Tio has a problem fighting Catterall. Tio can sit there and go, great. Now I can get the bigger Zufa bag that Keith Connolly seems to get for people, right? And let's go fight Haney now, right? For a unification. So this next announcement for Teofimo Lopez is a big announcement. As Dan Raphael has reported, it's only in talks, Clay. It's only like a handshake deal. It's not a all the way type of a deal yet. So we'll see. Because now that Paro's in the picture, what would stop? I guess other than time, because Paro got that cut. But I was gonna say, well, what if Rolly did fight Paro? Right? Like, because I don't know what the unification rules are versus the 180-day mandatory rule is with the WBA. So we'll see.
It could happen, man. It could happen. I mean, I'm sure PBC wouldn't mind sitting Rolly Romero down for another 6 months for a unification fight. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that could end up working out. The unification between Liam Paro and Rolly Romero might be what makes sense if No Limits involved in it. And, you know, I'm sure the money could make sense, especially if it's in Australia. You know what I'm saying?
If it's in Australia, yeah, man. Rolly goes all the way over there. Wow. Hey, man.
Get crazy.
Yeah, no, so let me ask you, since we're on that anyways. If Rolly did fight Liam Paro, who would you pick?
In Australia?
In Australia.
I'm picking Liam.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think Liam is a good boxer, bro. And he's smart. Like, he fought Subriel Matias the right way. He made the adjustments. He fought, you know what I'm saying? He does those things. He's gonna show up, he's gonna come up short in front of Lewis Crocker or Richardson Hitchens. He doesn't care about the power punches like that. He knows how to navigate that and win. And if he's in Australia, they're gonna give him every round that he don't get knocked down in, bro. You know what I'm saying? Every round he don't get knocked down and he gonna win. They're gonna give his pedigree the proper accolades. You know what I mean? The same thing with Lewis Crocker. Lewis Crocker fights in Ireland, his pedigree is gonna get the proper accolades. You know what I mean? Every round. They're gonna be like, oh no, he was moving great. And did you see how he was touching him to the body? He was making him miss. Did you see him controlling the range? Oh, they're gonna reward all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a damn. He can land 5 punches a round. As long as the other guy lands 4, he's winning. You know what I'm saying? The round.
Right.
So Liam Paro in the UK, I mean in Australia, that's a 50-50 fight at a minimum in Australia. In America, not so much.
Okay. Well then here's the last one for you, because as you know, Paddy Donovan, who's with Matchroom, just fought so that he is the mandatory for Liam Paro, right? Who would you pick if Liam Paro and Paddy Donovan, but the fight was on the undercard of Katie Taylor at Croke Park? 80,000 people. You picking Paddy?
I'm picking Paddy no matter what. I just think Paddy's
better. Oh, you're picking Paddy even if it's in Australia? You're picking Paddy?
It's better I think Paddy's just better than Liam Paro. And I think him and Andy Lee, I expect a better version of Paddy Donovan every time he gets in the ring.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. I just expect him to be better every time because of the Andy Lee dynamic. So yeah, I'm picking Paddy.
Hey man, I believe you.
10 times. You know what I mean?
I like it. Yeah, man. No, this is a great weekend of boxing, guys. If you're a big boxing junkie and you're a boxing fan, you're getting a nice, great set of fights on Saturday, and then you're getting a ton of 50-50 fights on Sunday. Paramount Plus, 99 cents right now if you're not subscribed yet. But Zufa Boxing 08. Coming out the back end. The second fight outside the Apex, Clay. The second fight outside the Apex.
Yeah, where's this one going to be at?
It's at the Cosmopolitan. It's
Cosmopolitan.
It's in the arena called the Chelsea. That's where Lomachenko fought a few times. It's a nice little venue. Nice little venue, you know.
Like a small room in Madison Square Garden type of energy.
Yeah. If I'm not there to watch it, then I'll call the fights with you. But I might be there to watch
I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be able to call the fights. I'm gonna be at work.
You're gonna. Oh man, dang it. That's right. Okay. All right.
I'll be watching.
But I might be there. There's a couple of guys from Oakland, so Bay Area is representing. But a great set of fights, 50-50 across the board. Starting with if you want to transition, you ready to transition to this or not yet?
Hold on a second. I'm ready to transition, but we're not going through every single one of these fights. We're going through the best ones. I think there's like 5 really good ones.
Yeah, let me do a quickie though.
Well, be quick. I don't want to kill my time. I got you know me. It's about that. It's not about that time, but it's about that time.
I know. But
I don't want to lose out time on talking about Rayo and Edwin. I don't want to lose our time talking about Kane, Sandoval. You know what I'm saying? And Brandon Lee. I don't want to lose time. Those are going to be some good discussions. So go ahead.
Well, yeah. Well, the heavyweight is the first fight of the night. That's a 6-rounder. Right. 2 6-rounders, and then there's 3 8-rounders, and then it's 4 10-rounders. But that Zakharov and Zachary Spiller, guys, you should definitely check that out. I think it's a 50-50. Zachary Spiller, Clay, is your American version of Fabio Wardley. Didn't have much of an amateur career. He's been sparring all the top guys, though. And I think they put in the Zakharov kid tough. But Zakharov from Uzbekistan, that boy's 6'8". 6'8" southpaw against a 6'3", 6'4" southpaw. That'll be fun. Damani Kato Kane, you called this fight the last time, from Oakland. That's going to be a great fight against Vernon Brown. Again, 50-50. Pick the underdog if you want, because anything can happen. Showtime Floyd Diaz. You remember good old Showtime Floyd Diaz from right here in Vegas. He's fighting Tehran. Tehran's more seasoned, I guess, in this 118 bout. But we will see.
Wait, Floyd, is that cash? That's not cash, right?
That's cash. Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be a great fight. That's my guy.
Yeah, Floyd Diaz. But now I'm picking Floyd Diaz to win that one. But again, man, go watch some of Tehran's fight tapes that you can see. It's tailor made for Floyd Diaz in terms of Tehran's going to be there to outbox, but we'll see, man. We're gonna find out. I like how Zufa keeps testing everybody. It's like it makes me feel like it's a UFC card, right? Like equal versus equal. And then, man, you got to talk about JP Benito versus Tony Hirsch.
That's the fight. That's one of the 5 fights. That's one of my 5 fights right there.
2 guys undefeated. There's only 8 fights, baby. There's only 8. You know, they make it quick.
5. I said 5 that I want to talk. Am I lying?
Yeah, but I'm already on I'm already on your first of 5, right?
Exactly.
JP Benito versus Tony Hirsch. Tony Hirsch from Oakland, coming off of the upset victory against Robert Merriweather, and then J. Bree P. Benito, Filipino from Hawaii, wildcard Jim, undefeated, coming off the upset win on, I think it was Mejia. Did he beat Abel Mejia or something like that, right? He knocked him out.
Yeah, he knocked him out. That was a great fight. I mean, they put 2 really good guys together here. Tony Hirsch came in and upset Robert Merriweather. Shout out to Robert Merriweather. Looking forward to hearing his next fight announcement. But Tony Hirsch came on the space and kind of shook it up a little bit and showed that pedigree. He's a big guy for 135. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Benito, who came in and showed he got that dog. You know what I'm saying? Really a dog. A great opponent. I'm going with Tony Hirsch in this one. I think Benito is tailor-made for Tony Hirsch. I think Tony Hirsch can walk him into a lot of shit. I think he can be very patient. He's shown that he's durable. He's a big 135-pounder. I think the fight could be potentially be fight of the night behind the main event, which I think will definitely be probably more than likely be fight of the night. But I think this one right here is definitely right there. What do you think? I know. I mean, we got other fights for sure, but
I mean, yeah, for me, it's fit. I mean, again, across the board, every single one of these fights. This is the first time where truly it's 50-50 across the board on all 8 fights. Jaleel even said when we were interviewing him on the show from Sunday, making his announcement of his Zufa 9 card, he said, whoever the underdog is, might be good for you to put money on the underdog because it really is that 50-50. Hard for me to pick on this one, Clay, because you got, on the one hand, you got my Filipino brother.
I'm about to say, it's only because he's Filipino. You know what time
it is. Hold on, time out. On the other hand, you got my Bay Area brother in Tony Hirsch, you know.
Go with the Bay.
Right. So, you know, I don't know. I would say that it looks like it should be tailor-made for Tony Hirsch because JP Benito is going to be
going to push it. He's going to push the pace. Yeah.
But JP Benito, that's what they thought was going to happen to him on his last fight.
Right.
And look what he did.
Facts.
Right? So my question right back to you, sir, is Tony Hirsch took some shots from Robert Merriweather. Are you telling me that Robert Merriweather hits as hard as JP Benito? Because I don't think he does.
He doesn't hit as hard. He doesn't hit as hard. No, he definitely doesn't. But that was the perfect fight for Tony Hirsch to go into the Benito fight. That fight prepared him for it. He knows the improvements he needs to make. He knows he understands, and he even spoke on it in an interview that we did with him on the Boxing Voice about, you know, it didn't need to be that way. He wanted to test Robert Merriweather's speed. He fought. That's not the way he fights, is what he's basically saying, right? He was like, the reason I fought that way is because I was trying to see. He expected a very fast, athletic Robert Merriweather, so he was being patient, waiting on that version. Once he saw that Robert Merriweather was just going to sit inside the pocket and fight him the way he decided to fight him, he's like, oh, you want to fight this fight? And he quickly adjusted. I think he knows better. I think Tony Hirsch is a smart, cerebral fighter. He's not a slugger. He's a boxer, and he's the bigger guy. He has the longer arms. He's got all these physical attributes. I think he's going to work behind that jab. He's going to control that range. He's not going to try to make it close range. He's not going to give Benito a space to do what he gave Robert Merriweather the space to do. Benito's going to have to throw a little caution to the wind, which I know he has no problem doing. And in the midst of throwing that caution to the wind, I think Tony Hirsch is gonna take care of business, going to get that victory. Might even stop Benito, if not put him on his pockets a couple times in this fight. That's you saying, oh, I don't think he stops Benito. I don't think he stops. I think this is a fight that goes the distance. It's an 8-rounder. I think it was the distance, Clay. That's what I'll say. I think it goes the distance. Okay. You think he gets out on his pocket
tonight? It could be fight of the night. So if you're doing a bet, my advice is bet on the underdog. And, you know, if they do something crazy like plus 200 or more, whoever the underdog is, bet on that. To me, it's truly a 50-50. I'm not going to pick against my Filipino guy, and I'm not going to pick against my Bay Area guy.
And,
I'm not
and,
gonna
every, and everybody in the building, remember that when you listen.
I'm picking Damani Kato Kane because he's from Oakland. I'm picking Damani.
Okay.
So, do I get some credit?
No, you're good. I'm not listen, I'm not putting that kind of pressure on you. I don't expect you to do that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm just letting everybody know in the building that's putting their money where their mouth is. On this one, let Angelo live. Let him breathe. And don't necessarily take everything he says literally. Allow him to be who he is. He's good on the other ones. This one right here might not necessarily be. I mean, I'm just giving y'all a heads up. Make your own decision up, bro. You know what I mean? We don't give financial advice here, so do what you want.
50-50. I do, and by the way, the one right before that, because I think JP Benito and Tony Hirsch, I think, is the main of the prelim. So right before them is Brady Ochoa versus Adrian Serrano. I was there for Zufa Boxing 4. I was sitting with Ramon Cardenas, and Ramon Cardenas was rooting for Serrano, right? And I was just observing. I thought Brady Ochoa would do better than he did. Serrano surprised me. I scored it for Serrano on Zufa Boxing 4 when I was there live watching it, Clay, but it ended up being a draw. On the rematch, bro, I kind of think Brady Ochoa is going to fix the mistakes that he fixed. So
that's what it's all about.
I will still say, whoever's the plus money, bet on that guy because it is 50-50, but I'm leaning Ochoa because I felt like Ochoa lost because he made a couple of tactical errors. And now that they're getting a chance to re-fight each other right off the bat. And by the way, I want to ask you this question. Because I hear this from the other spaces all the time too, man. And it's fucking stupid to me because I'm used to the UFC world of people have to fight each other. People fight each other. People lose. Derek Lewis has 13 losses. No one cared. No one even paid attention to the fact that he had 13 losses when he just fought in front of the White House, right? So how do you feel about the fact that here's Brady Ochoa, Adrian Serrano, both young people, both undefeated. They fought each other back in March. And then instead of like a long build up to a rematch, they're like, let's do it again. Let's do it again for 8 rounds. How do you feel about young prospects just finding out where they're at? Kind of like what Jaleel talked about.
Listen. Jaleel said something very important. Find out who you are. You got a lot of life in front of you. This might not be for you, man. Let's see these fighters give us their best shows in their prime. Why do we got to wait for these guys to be in their mid-30s before we see them in the realest fights, in the best fights? Nah, man, I'm totally for Xander Zayas fighting against Butenis at 23. Yes, if he loses, so be it, bro. He's going to be a better fighter for it. They'll see each other again at 160. You know what I mean? They'll you know what I mean? As long as, Xander don't go get knocked out in the first 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Don't get outclassed. You know what I mean? Fight a good fight, which is what I'm expecting from him. And we see it again, man. Let's make the fights great. Get these guys paid. Get these guys to more early retirements. More retirements around 30, 32, 31. Let's see a lot more Andre Wards, bro. You know what I'm saying? Why not, bro? Why do they got to give their best years of their life away to boxing? You know what I mean? No, in their athletic prime, let them run it. Let them squabble, bro. Let them squabble. Don't match them crazy. Don't put a prospect against a veteran. But as long as these guys are in the same conversation, why can't they iron out their differences in between them right now and become better fighters? I guarantee you Robert Merriweather will be, I can't guarantee you nothing. You never know, right? But I think Robert Merriweather is going to be a better fighter because of his experience with Tony Hirsch. He didn't get dominated, right? He didn't get beat the hell up to death. He lost a good fight, and now he gets to make the adjustments. He gets to feel that feeling. He knows who he needs to be, and he improves in his next fight. And that's just how it goes. So I ain't got no problem with these kind of fights being made. Not at all. Right. Hey, guys, 60 plus people in the building. Hit the like button. And I know a lot. There was at one point, it was like damn near 90 people in the building. We only got like 50-something likes. So hit the like button real quick. Do that right quick if you haven't done it. And obviously, I shouldn't have to tell you, but subscribe to the channel. Let's support the grind, man. My bad, though. Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, these diabolical people, man. Now you know why I always get mad at them in hour 2, man. It's like we had 90 people. We still got only less than 60 likes, bro. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You guys are dying. You guys are coming in to hate on us, and you can't even at least do a dislike button.
Yeah, hit something. You know what I'm saying? Show some love. Who knows? I haven't seen the dislikes yet. JD 4321 in the building, man. Salute to you, man, with the $5.
I didn't know
this. JD4321 says, for those that said Zufa only does club shows, they already 20 tickets.
I think he meant to say 2,000. I think he meant to say 2,000, but I think.
Okay, maybe they're already. I got 20. Already 20 tickets from selling out 3,000 tickets. No, I don't.
Or maybe he meant only 20 tickets are left from selling out 3,000 tickets. That could be it too.
That's what he was saying. Only 20 tickets from selling out 3,000 tickets at the Cosmopolitan, Las Vegas. Yeah, I mean they want to throw shots at the movement and the way they're moving because they feel like the shows are so small in the beginning. Sometimes I think the devil comes dressed in Prada for real because it's like they're trying to convince them. No, Dana's not like you guys, respectfully, right? He's not going to come in and debut in T-Mobile. He's building something. He's doing it the right way. He's going to make sure whatever arena he's in, it's going to be sold out or damn near sold out every time. And before you know it, he's going to transition to the next step, to the next step, the next step. Before you know it, it will be. It's intelligence. It's strategy, bro. It's parliamentary. You know what I'm saying?
Business. Yeah. Right. It's business, right? Business mentality.
He just continues to prove to his investors that he's intelligent. Every time the investors see him move that way, they're like, we hired the right guy. Every time they see him make a move like that, they're like, this guy's doing it the right way. He's not killing us with overhead and over expectations and where we need to sell 15,000 tickets. No, he's building us up. We got a long deal ahead of us. We've given him a big budget, not to mention what he's doing with the UFC. He's building these fighters up. You know what they like? They appreciate seeing Jaleel at the WWE. All right. They appreciate seeing Julian Rodriguez there. They appreciate seeing the commercials run they see the building happening from the ground up. They understand the business model, and they're more, each event that goes by, they become more and more and more confident to jump back into bed with Dana after this 5 years is up to make it even a bigger investment into the boxing space.
Yeah, and that's what's going to be good for us, right? That's what's at the end of the day, it's about us getting getting to see boxing as an NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball type of a sport again. And for far too long here in the United States, it's a niche sport, man. Only again, why do we have so many people coming into ATP Combat Media, right? Because people do want to talk about boxing, but there's so very few places you could talk intelligently about boxing that not like, because again, you tell me, Clay, when you're finally going to get a chance to go to a Starbucks over there in Pennsylvania and you can actually talk boxing with people that are just casual fans, right? Or they'll know. You'll be sad to know that some people on the casual sports fan space don't even know that Xander Zayas and Boots is fighting this Saturday, which 100%. Is one of the things that Eddie's getting killed for right now.
I got friends, the promoter. Bro, I got friends who aren't into boxing like that, right? But they ask me. They into boxing because of the show or because they know how much I'm into boxing. They'll be like, so what's going on, man, in boxing, man? I don't know. I ain't hearing nothing. What's going on? I'm like, what are you talking about? We're about to go into one of the biggest weekends. He's like, wow, what's going on? I'm like, Xander Zayas is about to fight Jermall Charlo. Xander? Who's Xander? Bro, Xander Zayas, a young bull, bro, the youngest unified champion in the space right now, bro. Oh, okay. I remember you telling me about the Boots guy, though. So they're getting ready to fight? Oh, awesome, man. And it's just like, yeah. So anyway, watch my live.
No, but I mean, no. And again, that's what it's like for me. Like, and that's why we keep telling you guys, support. If you really love boxing, like Pro Box is about to start charging you in 2 months $5. If you really love boxing, then pay the $5 because otherwise they're going to go out of business, and then it's just going to keep evolving itself into finally finding us a product that just shows us consistent, good boxing, right? And why do we support Zufa so much? Because so far, out of all 7 cards, name me honestly one card for even the haters.
They just get better and better.
You didn't like, right?
They just get better and better. The only thing you guys can complain about if you want those shots is Apex. That's all you got. Yeah, but who's
now that's gone already, though.
Exactly. Well, you said name one, so that's all you got. For the other ones, if you want to complain, is that, and that's getting answered. That's getting dealt with. So it is what it is. But let's continue with this card, man. Let's continue.
Yeah. So then the openers for this, the ones that you're seeing on the billboards here on Vegas all the time, is first one, Kane. Sandoval, who was supposed to beat Julian Rodriguez, loses to Julian Rodriguez. Gets right back on the ship from Zufa 2, 17-1, against the undefeated 30-0, finally getting a big stage. Actually, when he was coming out of the amateurs too, because he was with that whole group of amateur standouts like the Xanders and everything. I think he got the $1 million deal or something like that, right? His Korean parents are pretty smart. So, but Brandon Lee, man, 30-0, finally opener.
A 30-0 prospect. I mean, I don't even know how to read it with
27, Clay. He's 27.
I know, but he's been inactive, right? And I know he went and got a degree and he did so many different things, but he's a fighter who I just don't, to this day, at 30 wins, 0 defeats, 23 knockouts. I know the pedigree's there, but damn it. All I'm going to say is it's refreshing. He's a fighter who's going to benefit off Zufa Boxing because the traditional space he just didn't quite get over that bridge, right? He didn't quite get over, but he's 30 wins, 23 knockouts, and we still don't know how he's going to do in the ring with Kane Sandoval. We're expecting him to have a great performance. Kane Sandoval, a fighter who's coming off a Fight of the Year candidate against Julian Rodriguez on the opener of Zufa 1, I believe it was, right? Yeah, Zufa 1.
Oh, was it 1? Okay, I thought it was Zufa 2, but all right, you might be right.
Julian Rodriguez, Kane Sandoval, then they opened it up.
Sure. I thought it was Zufa 2, but let me see. You're right. It was Zufa Boxing 1. Zufa Clay got it right.
It's my job to be there. It's my job to know these things, Angelo. Yeah, man. Looking forward to this fight, man. I'm looking forward to see Brandon Lee in there with some game competition. I think Kane Sandoval is that dance partner when you're talking about Zufa, man. He did such a good job with Julian Rodriguez. Julian Rodriguez has become so much better on the back end of that fight. We see how Julian's getting moved right now in the space. This is, to me,
50-50.
It's 50-50, but I feel like it shouldn't be. Why
shouldn't it be 50-50?
It shouldn't be because Brandon Lee should be a favorite in this fight, but he's not because he's not active. And we don't know who Brandon Lee is at 30 wins. Brandon Lee, in my opinion, should be a favorite in this fight. We should be seeing this and being like, Brandon Lee this close to becoming a champion. But it's not.
Okay, currently right now, what's the odds say, Clay? Before we speak on this, what's the odds actually say? Because maybe he is a major favorite, but and you just haven't seen it yet. What is the actual odds?
Let me see. Good question.
And again, we want to be factual because Clay might be right. This might be like 50-50 according to the odds makers, and then now Clay's got a point. But he might also be wrong, and he might say Brandon Lee's minus 300. Clay's looking right now, guys. So that's the opener, by the way, at 147 pounds. Both guys are really smaller guys that have moved up now to 147. I think Brandon Lee last year when he fought for top rank, he weighed 143.
I don't see
the year before that, when he fought for Queensberry, he weighed 143. And then the year before that, in 2023, he fought twice. He was on the Fundora Mendoza card. That's where Fundora got knocked out. I think that was the one. He weighed 141. So, he's never really been a 147 guy. And then Kane Sandoval fought at 147 for the first time.
I don't see him on my FanDuel.
Oh, they're not even taking odds yet. Okay, so we don't even know what the odds. Hey, chat, if you guys know what the odds are for Brandon Lee versus Kane Sandoval, please let us know. That'd be a great thing to find out because it's not showing up. Clay is saying it is not showing up. But let's see. What I'm looking at on Topology, Clay, is it says that Brandon Lee is the favorite. He's minus 200. So he's the 2-1 favorite. Okay. So he is a favorite. Yeah. He is a favorite. So what are you complaining about?
Well, I'm complaining. Well, I'm be real with you. What I'm complaining about is I'm 50-50. You know what I'm saying? I'm still 50-50 with it. I'm glad Vegas is confident sitting there doing, but I'm sitting here and you are too. You can't take it back. You said 50-50. You know what I'm saying?
50-50 for
I
me.
know.
It is.
I know. Well, you know why it's 50-50, Angelo? Because you can't make him the favorite. Because Kane is a dog and Brandon ain't active enough, bro. He's just not active enough, bro. And he should be a favorite. We should both be sitting here and be like, man, Brandon going to put on a clinic, bro. If Julian could do it, I know Brandon about to clown, bro. I know he about to have a good time. He's going to control that range. He's going to box this dude. He's going to use those angles. He's going to use that aggression. He's not going to get caught up in that mid-range, close range, shoot him out shit that Julian got caught up with Kane Sandoval. And he's going to outclass this dude. He's going to do this dude bad, which I think very likely can happen. And I think if it does happen, people shouldn't be surprised. People should be like, there he is. But we don't know what we don't know, as you like to say. We don't know what we don't know. But I know one thing is this fight is going to be is a fight I'm looking forward to in a big way. I want to see this fight so bad, bro. This is one of the biggest fights I want to see on that card.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's the thing. It's the curiosity of Brandon Lee, right? Like the curiosity of Brandon Lee. Let's keep in mind too that in this fight he's fighting a 10-rounder. First time for him at 147, but he's already fought, I think, 4 10-rounders in his career. He fought Will Madera. He was a minus 2,500 when he fought Will Madera. He won unanimous decision, so he can go 10 rounds, Clay. When he fought on the this goes way back, Clay. But in the he fought Zachary Ochoa on the Errol Spence versus Ugas fight when he was still with PBC. Brandon Lee went 10 rounds at 140 pounds. He was the minus 3,000 favorite there. So he does know how to go 10 rounds against somebody that he's a major favorite on. But yeah, man, it's curiosity, right? Curiosity. I don't want to talk down on this fight too, because I think this is what Zufa does. It's great. I don't want to go against Kane Sandoval in the sense that, as you know, Clay, I'm very familiar with Wildcard Gym, Freddie Roach system. I understand the type of drills and things that they're working on with Kane. I do not like Kane Sandoval at 147, if I'm being honest with you. I don't.
That's another thing. That's another thing.
But having said that, if you look at his current body shape right now, he might have been using all this UFC ignite meals and supplements this time around. Because he looks much more like, okay, I'm gonna be 147. And now, if I'm being honest, if it goes plus 300, let's say, by fight night against Sandoval, I might pick Sandoval just because you can't do that. You can't make him that high. I still have not seen Brandon Lee fight at 147. Can I ask you this question? Would you say that up to this point in Brandon Lee's career, Kane Sandoval is the hardest person he's had to fight?
Yes.
Over everybody, because he's fought.
I mean, look, I'm gonna be real. I have not watched all of Brandon Lee's fights. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I haven't.
Okay.
But I gotta be honest with you. I think Kane, and like you said, he's stepping up, right?
He's stepping up.
He's stepping down. Actually, he's going to 140. Yeah, he's 147.
He's been Brandon Lee's always been a 140 guy. This is the first time he's going up to 147, right? But
he's been doing a lot of catchweight fights, though. He's been doing a lot of 142 and a half.
Yeah, but 142 and 143 is still not 147, though, Clay. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying he's been showing that he's bigger than 140. So there's an argument there to say that he's cutting less weight, that he might be stronger and the best version of himself at 147 because he's been kind of like, because he's been going and coming and going and coming. So he might not, he might be operating off of old data every time he goes into the ring or every time he goes into a fight, every time he agrees for a fight, he might be operating on old data. Well, I'm a 140 pounder. And then he goes and he's like, damn, no, I'm not. Fuck. Okay, well, look, the closest I can get it, he could be that kind of a guy, right? This fight is going to be, unfortunately, a 50-50 fight until we see what happens. That's what this fight is going to be. I think Brandon Lee's athleticism, I think he can control that range. I think he's smart enough to not allow that pocket to collapse on him. He's not going to allow Kane Sandoval to just do what he wants to do, which is turn this into a fight. But it might turn into a fight against his will because Kane knows how to turn a boxing match into a fight. He knows how to do it. So if he's not able to adjust to that the way Julian Rodriguez was, because Julian was like, okay, you want to make it a phone booth fight? We can do it here. I'm down to do it right here. Is Brandon Lee going to have that same energy if Kane Sandoval cuts that ring off properly, if he turns it into a fight, is Brandon going to crumble, get in that high guard, and get caught with something, and we see him get exposed as somebody who's not ready for the big conversation at 147? Or does he show and prove that all he needed was an opportunity against a Kane Sandoval to show the whole world that not only am I back, but all these 147 pounders, the Richardson Hitchens, the whoever, you know what I'm saying, the Julian Rodriguez,
right, Ricardo Salas. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All these guys need to pay attention. I'm in the building.
Right.
And I got the crazy record 31-0 and 23, maybe even 24 knockouts. You never know.
Now, so then I go back to you because we're discussing this one. This is a good fight. Are those 23 knockouts real though, Clay? Do you believe Brandon Lee's got that type of power? Or is it, when you're knocking out, it's kind of like Top Rank did a good job building up Ty Fields. Ty Fields had all kinds of knockouts. Then he fought Monty Barrett and lost on HBO, right? Sometimes when you're getting built as a fighter, you don't get to be developed as one. So do you think Brandon Lee has been developed well? Do you think his dad's managed him well? What do you think?
He's 30 wins, 0 defeats, 23 knockouts. He's going to show and prove on Saturday. I don't know who Brandon Lee is, bro. When I tell you it breaks my heart to say that, it's just the truth, bro. He's so inactive, man. I don't know. And shout out to a Vega who said something earlier. Where is it at? Vega said, I think again he should be favored. Lee isn't active and his style needs activity. He's athletic. The way he fights needs activity. He's a rhythm kind of fighter. You know what I mean? Could you imagine when one of the biggest things I think hurt Teofimo Lopez, it was his lack of activity. You know what I'm saying? The way he fought, you know what I'm saying? He's a kind of fighter who benefits off of being busy. Same thing with Devin to a large degree. Devin's a fighter who benefits off of activity. If he sits still too long, it becomes scary. We don't know who he is, especially if he gets in front of the right fighter. Brandon Lee's the same way. So I don't know who he is, and that's unfortunate. Like I said, breaks my heart because I feel like I should be comfortably sitting here going, Brandon Lee, bro, all day. Kane Sandoval's one-dimensional. He comes forward, he cuts the ring off, he's a big puncher, he wants to make it a fight. That's beneath Brandon Lee. But it's not. I don't know who Brandon Lee is, bro. It is what it is.
And the thing too is Kane Sandoval, man, he's not afraid to get punched on. You know what I mean? Right? He's 23 years old. He's ready to rock it out in a dogfight. So I don't know, man. We'll see. Definitely 50-50. Definitely very intriguing. That might actually steal fight of the night too.
Very possible.
Steal fight of the night.
Very possible.
Over to Tony Hirsch.
Brandon Lee gives me Dimitri Bivol potential. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
like,
damn,
I'm saying,
that's
like,
praise,
he should be. He's not there right now, but he should be. I'm feeling like an active version of him, a Brandon Lee who's fighting 3 times a year. That's what I believe you get out of him. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Dimitri Bivol, damn.
Because he moves. He picks his angles. He's good. He has a lot of ability, a lot of pedigree, a lot of movement, a lot of athleticism, man. He's a good all-around fighter, bro. Good boxer, puncher. But we'll see who he is. I'm looking forward to seeing this return of Brandon Lee. Let's go into the next fight.
Yeah, the co-main event. The co-main event is Omar Trinidad, who's coming off of that win from I want to say it was Zufa Boxing 3, I think is when Omar Trinidad fought. And then he's fighting my Filipino brother, former world champion, Gerwin Ancajas. And by the way, man, for people who don't know, I'll look up the odds for you. Oh, he was in Zufa Boxing 1, my bad. Zufa Boxing 1 was when Omar Trinidad beat Max Ornelas. And it was like the 10th round. But, I'm picking Gerwin Ancajas. You guys are going to laugh. Yes, I know he's Filipino. Not going against my guy. But for real, Clay, I'm talking about experience, all right? Gerwin Ancajas is 38 wins, 4 losses, the 2 draws. He's got world title pedigree already. He's 34. I understand he's 34. But, again, man, I don't know. To me, Omar Trinidad still has a lot to prove. Gerwin Ancajas, his last loss was in 2024 to Takuma Inoue, bro. So he's at least preparing for those big, huge challenges. And I think this is one of those times where Gerwin Ancajas, just like Mark Magsayo, gets a chance to show off what he can still do, right? He lost twice to Puma Martinez. And Puma Martinez is the guy who ended up beating Higa and then Bam beat Puma in the whole bit, right? But I mean, again, when I tell you the losses, who in Omar Trinidad's resume has he even fought that's the level of a Puma Martinez or a Takuma Inoue? You know what I mean? Right? So, like I said,
that's what this fight is about for Omar Trinidad, right? That's what this is about. This is a real test for him to see where he's at. He's in the conversation. He wants to be in the 126 conversation and he wants to be taken seriously. This will probably be his biggest opponent, right? This is the best opponent he's ever been in the ring with. I'm looking at
I don't think Gerwin Ancajas is worse than Lorenzo Parra. So Omar Trinidad's best opponent was Lorenzo Parra, who he had a draw with. Right. I think Jerwin Ancajas is better than Lorenzo Parra. So the odds makers got it as a plus 300 against, but I'm putting a little something on Jerwin because I don't think he's that old, man. Us Filipinos, we don't age that. You know, you guys think I'm like young. I'm like 80. So I'm just saying, bro.
I'm about to say, ain't nobody here sitting confusing you with no motherfucking young bull, bro. Get up out of here, bro. Them empanadas ain't doing it like that, bro. Fuck out of here.
I'm just saying, man. I'm like that dude from Big Trouble in Little China. I'm old.
Okay. I'm way older. I'm really like 80 years old, bro. What are you talking about? Wisdom.
Right.
I'm going with Omar.
Who are you picking?
I'm going with Omar Trinidad. I think he shows up and he shows and proves. I think it's his time to show and prove. I think it's a big opportunity for him, a big stage for him, and I think it's a breakout moment for him. But I think this is a great opponent that's going to properly test him. It's going to let us know. I think after this fight, we're either going to be like, or we're going to become Omar Trinidad fans. We're going to be like, we want to see bigger and better things on the back end of this. I think that Gerwin or Erwin Ancajas,
the pretty boy. His nickname's Pretty Boy Ancajas.
I think he's going to properly test him. I think he's going to test him in a real way. And I think that's what we need. I think we need that test for him. I'm expecting Trinidad to show improvement, but we'll see.
All right. Well, you heard it here, guys. Don't be afraid to put that money on a plus 300 Jerwin Ancajas Filipino power, man.
They're baiting you. That's why they put 300. They're trying to make it irresistible. That's what they're trying. They put it out there for the Angelos. They know who's going to win it, but they were like, if we make it like a plus 150, maybe even 200, everybody going to go with Trinidad. If we make it a 300, they're going to be like, you know what?
Hey, man. I'm just saying. Hey, I was there for ZUFFA Boxing 6 live. 4 upsets, Clay. 4 upsets on that. So I don't want to be that idiot that doesn't put money on, like I should have put money on Sarai. I should have put money on Alexis Alvarado, right? Like, I'm just saying, man, don't sleep on my Filipino brother, Jerwin Ancajas, bro. Pretty boy. Don't sleep on him.
Like I said, I expect him to test Trinidad properly. Like, I think it's going to be a good fight. And I'm not even picking a stoppage. I think this goes the full 10 rounds to a decision.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree that it goes the full 10 rounds. This is going to be at a featherweight, 126 pounds. I will give you that one too. That Ancajas has never been really a 126 guy. He's always floated in that lighter weight. Yep. So this is him, kind of more fighting closer to his natural weight versus Omar Trinidad. He's going to be the bigger guy going into the fight. So I will give you that. There's a reason why Trinidad's the minus 400 favorite. But yeah, man. And then on to the main thing.
This rematch. Is the big one, man. Okay, so we got Edwin De Los Santos, 17 wins, 2 losses, 15 knockouts, man. A fighter who has matured in front of my eyes. He's changed and he's evolved in a positive way. And this is a second chance for him here at ZUFFA Boxing, right? Coming off that loss with Gary Antoine Russell, we didn't know what he was going to do. He came back in was it ZUFFA 1? Was it ZUFFA 2? ZUFFA 1? No, ZUFFA 3, right?
No, it was ZUFFA 3. Let me make sure. I think it was ZUFFA 3, right? No, when he beat ZUFFA 2. When he beat Diego Torres, it was ZUFFA 2.
Right. So, up and down. We seen him get robbed on that Chris Colbert fight, then come back and have a knockout of the year against Chris Colbert. Rolled him up like a California Blunter Kush, and watch him just roll up in that corner. And then he gets in the ring with Isak Pitbull Cruz and shows out, bro, in a way that people didn't expect him, didn't know he could show out, right? And this is on the back end, obviously, of him losing to De Los Santos and all that, obviously, right? That happened.
Right.
He had to kind of
got knocked out.
He got caught being a little too and that was after the Colbert fight. I'm bad.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
his first official loss when he was undefeated was De Los Santos knocking him out in the third round. Then he fought Chris Colbert, lost to Colbert. Then he rematched Colbert, won Colbert,
right,
and then he won against Isaac Cruz. Then he lost to Gary Russell. That's his.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. Okay, cool.
Nope, I'm staring at it right now.
Okay, perfect. So
yeah.
the big thing for him was the experience, right? And I think he became so much more experienced out of all those the up and downs. You know what I'm saying? He's seen a lot, and he's gotten to know who he is. He was working with Jose Benavidez for a little while, then he kind of went through that a little bit. And I thought the PBC did him kind of dirty. I thought they tried him because he didn't want to be with Jose Benavidez anymore. I thought they rolled Gary Antoine, who was coming off of a loss of Alberto Puello, and rolled him right into that ring when he should have really been rematching Isak Pitbull Cruz for a big bag. He outboxed Isak Pitbull Cruz. You know what I'm saying? Really, well, he was actually Robert Garcia being managed by Jose Benavidez, but still, everything kind of went downhill for him after that, right? I remember him walking out the ring after that Gary Antoine Russell fight, which was a crazy fight. Maybe a fight of the year candidate, potentially, except it was kind of one-sided. Gary Antoine really was just beating the brakes off of him, but he showed he got that grit. You know what I'm saying? He showed that he was a tough fighter. Gary put a lot of heat on him, and he never got stopped. He just went to the end, man, and ended up being what it was. Then he shows up at Zufa Boxing and gets his second chance at showing and proving. I think he looked real good in his last fight. Real good boxing, real good movement, really took care of business. And I think that team he's with is a good team as well. Produced that other kid that we saw get a knockout of the year.
Remember he knocked out Ervin Fuller.
Yeah,
remember
you were like something Sado, something like that.
De La Cerda was a 10-day notice. De La Cerda comes in, does that counter knockout, and put Ervin Fuller out. Put him out.
Right.
But anyway.
Right. So look, he seems primed to show and prove, and he gets an opportunity that not a lot of fighters get, which is redemption. He gets an opportunity against one of the guys who put him down. He never got a chance to answer to revisit that. I mean, he also knocked Edwin De Los Santos down in that fight a couple times as well. You know what I mean? He just got a little excited, right? Okay. That fight was a fight until it wasn't. You know what I mean? But Edwin De Los Santos, we know he's the one who was in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, who had his hands in his pockets, and Shakur finessed him. Didn't know he was in the ring with a guy with one hand, right, the whole time, and got finessed for 12 rounds. And Shakur Stevenson becomes WBC champion at 135. And the world hated Shakur for the fight, but he won it. And Edwin De Los Santos also caught his heat for him not pumping up the punch output. Lowest punch output, I think. It was in the history books on the records, right, for being part of that fight. He had one fight after that I didn't see. I didn't see that fight that he had after that. It was
against Elliot Chavez, knocked him out in the first round. Something that his manager, Adrian Clark, put together for him, so kept him active because he was in a training camp getting ready to beat up on Keyshawn. And what happened, Clay? You want to tell us what happened?
My boy Keyshawn had a mental lapse of little childish of him, decided he wasn't going to make weight, blew weight, and that was a horrible night. You know what I'm saying? But on the back end of that, the good thing was he found out that his manager, Samson Leakowitz, was, not a transparent person who was working in his favor, right? Found out his pockets was getting tapped. Found out he wasn't getting moved correctly, and that he was fish food, for the sharks in the water. Samson was using him as bait, and he got away from Samson Leakowitz. And where did he end up? He's over here at Zufa Boxing. Him and Edwin De Los Santos get to revisit the conversation, and the conversation is: was that night a fluke? Was Rayo Venezuela just out of his mind that night, and just undisciplined? Or is Edwin De Los Santos really just that good? That's the question, right? Where do you stand on it?
I think Edwin De Los Santos really is that good, and I have tons of respect for Jose Rayo Valenzuela. Vegas has this as even down the middle. It's minus money on both guys. So basically, you make nothing unless you pick like the under or the over, stuff like that. You got a 27-year-old Rayo Valenzuela against a 26-year-old Edwin De Los Santos. Rayo hits hard. He does, Clay. And he showed on the Diego Torres fight that even when he's in trouble, he can continue with a game plan and box. But bro, that Dominican powerhouse, man. We were just talking about Yuri Cedeno. Well, Edwin De Los Santos is the original Yuri Cedeno, bro. He got bricks for hands. He hits extremely hard at 135 pounds. I'm excited for Edwin because he beats Rayo. So, like, if you've listened to some of Rayo's interviews, Rayo's talking about getting a shot at Shakur, which remember when I told you that don't be surprised if the winner of this ends up fighting Shakur as Shakur's Zufa debut. So anyway, but imagine Edwin De Los Santos, right? At 26 years old, he makes this a firefight, even better than the first one. Let's say he knocks out Rayo. And this is Rayo coming off a good performance. I think he got a $50,000 bonus for the performance against Diego Torres, right? Coming off of that, he knocks out Rayo. Then he gets on a mic with Max Kellerman in his Dominican Republic Spanish, says, I want Shakira Twitterson back, you know, so Shakira, sign your contract. Bro, I'd be excited. I'd be like, hell yeah, let's get Shakur back at 135. And why not Edwin De Los Santos? Because why not, Clay? Why not? I would love to see that fight. Me. But I'm just saying, I'm leaning Edwin De Los Santos to win. That's me.
All right. And listen, I ain't mad at it all. And I love the storyline. I think that does build up for something crazy for Shakur. Listen, you know, all the rumors circulating in the space, one of the most solid ones to me is the Shakur Zufa rumor, right? That seems to be the one that's really sticking. Like, that seems to be the one you can count on. Everything else is in the air still. You know what I mean? That even Devin Haney, maybe. Yes, no, I don't know. You know what I mean? Tiafimo ended up not coming over. He was also rumored to be getting ready to come over there. He didn't end up there, but it seems like Zufa and Shakur seem like it's becoming more and more real. We're just waiting on some sort of formal announcement. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see Shakur at this fight, right? Maybe Shakur shows up and he's sitting out there, and maybe that's when the announcement is made. You know what I'm saying? Maybe on that press conference, you never know. Things can get crazy out here. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
You're gonna make me get a press pass. The only thing I don't like about the press passes, like I told you, is you don't get to cheer. And I hate, like, I'm gonna go there. There's 2 Oakland guys. There's a couple of Filipino fighters. I can't cheer, bro. That sucks. I don't want to. Life's too short for me, man. I got to cheer at a live event. So, but no, you're right, man. Shakur Stevenson might be there. Shakur
never know. You never know, right? So this fight is a big fight, obviously, for Rayo to even mention something like that. He's seeing, he's seeing the writing on the wall, and he's hoping, right? It is what it is. But I don't know. I got a feeling Rayo's gonna do it. I got a feeling, right? Listen, man, I like the boxing that's coming out of his gym. I like the boxing that's coming out of there, and
You like what you're saying is you like this team better than his previous team.
100%
for him. Okay.
I think they're emphasizing boxing, and I think he saw something in himself on the Eastside Pitbull Cruz fight, right? He saw he's like, yo, I can do this. I can move. I can be athletic. I can do these things, right? But then he revisited against Gary Antoine Russell and got his ass beat. He jumped back into that bag of I'm going to be in this close range, mid-range fight, and he really got a beat. And I think Gary beat some sense into him and beat the recklessness out of him, right? Because there's this safe space where Rayo Valenzuela can box very well and have his opportunities to do things. And then there's this other space that a lot of fighters go through, which is I want to entertain the crowd. I want the big knockout. I want to do these things. But Rayo has to come to a reality of who he is. And I think he's done with the identity crisis. I think he knows who he is, and I expect him to be more of a consistent fighter who's more honest with himself. He's with a team that is supporting him doing that, and he's in a space in Zufa Boxing that supports it. That's not going to boo him if he doesn't knock somebody out or put that pressure or throw him away, you know what I'm saying, for taking a loss. So that anxiety's gone. He seems to be more of a mentor now in this camp. He has younger fighters looking up to him, and I think he's just a better, mentally stronger fighter because of what he's been through. I think it's his moment, and I think he catches Edwin De Los Santos at a time of inactivity, at a time of really dealing with the business of boxing and the politics of boxing screwing him over, and he has to dial in. And I don't know who Edwin De Los Santos is. I don't know if he's what has he been doing? He made a decent little money. He got a little sidebar money from that Keyshawn Davis situation. He went back to the DR. Was he out there drinking El Presidentes and living his best life? 150,000 American goes a long way in DR, bro. Did he have
I think Edwin De Los Santos is he's very disciplined, And you watched him do mitts with Brian Norman. He looks good. He looks happy. He's in shape. I think what Edwin De Los Santos has been missing is a Zufa platform, a platform that will actually say, hey, we believe in you too. Win, lose, or draw, we believe in La Granada, right? So I don't know, man. I feel like I get what you're saying about the inactivity, and you're absolutely right about that, right? But the training camp, when he was getting ready for Keyshawn, you don't think he was peaking? You know what I'm trying to say, right? So it wasn't like the training camp was inactivity. The training camp was real. Keyshawn not fighting him had nothing to do with him having a real training camp play, right? And then, you know, he's with his manager now, Adrian Clark. He's doing mitts with Brian Norman. I'm just saying, man, I feel like this is one of those ones where I don't think I want to say inactivity will be the reason why Edwin De Los Santos loses if he loses, right? That's why I'm picking him to win. If Rayo beats him this time, no excuses. Rayo, yay, man, you beat a good Edwin De Los Santos. No excuses. But I think that's what we're seeing. You know, when I'm looking at him, even while he's here in Vegas, like you can see it in his face. He looks like a no excuses Edwin De Los Santos. Right. He looks like he actually wants to take out all of his angst from Keyshawn ducking him in some ways on Rayo. And now think about that, man. Like I said, the excitement. I get that Rayo's pumping it up right now, where Rayo's saying, hey, when I win this fight, I want Shakur. But the storyline for Zufa is much better. If De Los Santos knocks out Rayo, says, your little brother ducked me, couldn't even make weight. So let's hope that you can do it, Shakira Twitterson. Come back down to 135 and come get the best 135 guy. He's right here at Zufa Boxing. His name is La Granada. See, that's a more fun way of pumping it up.
I like it. I ain't mad at it at all. Man. I think it's great. I think I like the buildup, man. I like it, man. I think we win either way. No matter who wins this fight, I think boxing wins. You know what I'm saying? I think the fans win watching this fight. I think we got the best versions of. Listen, I think, like I said, I think Rayo is very aware of who he is right now, and I think that's a good thing for Rayo Venezuela. Edwin De Los Santos, I'm in the air about. I'm not gonna lie. I think he knows who he is, but I wonder how the politics has dealt with him. I wonder how mentally he is. Is he back in his bag, or is he, you know, like you said, he got a chip on his shoulder, and is that chip on his shoulder a good chip or a bad chip? Does he overcompensate? Does he get a little too aggressive? Does he get a little, you know what I mean? How does this affect him? You know what I'm saying? He's been through a lot, I feel, in the past year. So I'm looking forward to see the fight, though. This fight is a big fight. I'm sure that was what the game plan was when they signed Edwin. Was like, we got Rayo over here. We might as well bring Edwin over here, make it what it is. And then if Shakur truly is in the is just there one announcement away from happening, from him being a full-fledged Zufa fighter, then yeah, man, there's a big trilogy coming up on the back end. Sam from Jersey says, at this point, I want every boxer to sign to Zufa. You guys are making it sound like the future. Yeah, I'm not making. They're doing it right. We just calling it how
they're making it sound like it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Shout out to Sam Jersey. Appreciate it.
I didn't know.
And also JD 4321 with the $2 says, I can confirm pockets got tapped a few times. Is that Jay from yesterday?
Yeah, that's Juan. Yeah. He's a part of the Edwin De Los Santos' crew. So, exactly. But he's saying that he can admit that Edwin got hit too, right? Like, so. Yeah. He's talking about the Samson one on this,
right?
Maybe he is talking about the Samson one.
Yeah, that's what it was, because I said that Edwin got his pockets tapped.
Oh yeah.
I found out he got his pockets tapped on the back end of that. That was a good thing that came out of that Keyshawn fight, right?
Right.
It is.
Right.
It is what it is, man.
Right.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the link out there real quick. You know, you guys already know what it is. Let me know what you guys are thinking on the fights, on the topics that we were talking about. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hit the like button if you haven't done it. We got 70 plus people in the building. I don't see 70 plus likes. Let's make sure we do that. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, do that as well. Let's make sure we knock out the subscribe button. Let's do that. We're on our road to 4,000 subscribers, man. Appreciate all you guys, man. Thank you in advance. Let me see. Interesting fight. Zufa was feeling nostalgic. Yeah, it is. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. But a lot of good news this weekend. We're going into this fight this weekend, man. I'm leaning more towards Boots Now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm 60%. Boots is looking just shout out to Xander. I expect him to compete at the highest level. I really expect, and I think this is an opportunity for Boots. By the way, if Boots wins this fight in a dominating way, he has to be on the pound for pound list for me, bro.
Absolutely, dude.
He
This is
deserves
ridiculous.
it, bro.
Yeah, no, this is ridiculous. I would argue that if Xander beats Boots, you might want to put him at number 10. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
for sure, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like it's just not fair that, you know, like which one is it, guys? Boots hasn't fought enough good people, or is he as good as everybody says? I'll tell you what I was doing last night, Clay. Like, you know how sometimes you can't fall asleep, right? For me, it's the medication. Sometimes it's messing with my head. Wake up in the middle of the night. It's like 2 a.m. or whatever, and I'm like thinking about the Xander Boots fight. So I popped on Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. Right? Rewatched it again. Scored it exactly the same way I scored it the first time I watched it. I still had it for Hagler. At worst, I had it as a draw. That's at worst. But with my 3 swing rounds, if I gave one of those swing rounds to Hagler, I still have Hagler winning. And Sugar Ray Leonard, bro, was holding a lot, and he didn't get a point deduction or any warnings for holding. Having said that, that's how Xander can win. He has to do what Sugar Ray Leonard did to Marvin Hagler. If he can't do that, he might actually get knocked out, like the caller. Who's the really funny caller yesterday that told us
good buddy? I seen him in the back too. Good buddy's in the back. I might pull him up real quick too.
He might be right, bro. He might be right, because honestly, if Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't holding Marvin Hagler so damn much, Hagler might have knocked him out. I'm just saying. Shout out to Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm just saying, man. Rewatch the fight for all you guys hating on me about how I think Hagler won. Watch that fight and really be objective, and I promise you're going to score at least 6 rounds for Hagler. Hagler had the power punching to the body, hit him hard during the breaks, or during the like Hagler never grabbed him. Hagler kept hitting him, and that's why I wanted to rewatch it that way, because Boots, right? When Boots is on the inside, he's not going to grab you, bro. He's going to try to like work that inside game, work you in the body. And that's the thing, is I don't know if Xander's ever been hit that hard by somebody who actually knows how to work the body. So I might be with a good buddy. It might be a Boots knockout. Might be. I'm just, I'm leaning closer and closer towards that now, Clay, just like you. So
yeah, I'm feeling like who boxing wants to win may play a part in this one. And that's why I asked the question yesterday. And I'm seeing, by the way, shout out to all the creators who all of a sudden asking the same question today for their shows. We did it yesterday. But I noticed, I mean, I don't know if I'm not going to say it had anything to do with the show yesterday, but I'm just going to say I see a lot of who does boxing want to win? Who benefits boxing better? Okay, cool.
Right. Right.
But that's why I
we did that on Tuesday's show, but all right.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, not even yesterday, Tuesday's show. But I think it plays a part in this fight, right? I think what plays a role in this fight is going to be, if it comes down to that 12th round, and the judges get it in their hands, who do they want to be the next face of boxing? If they see the winner of this fight becoming the next face of boxing, will that influence them in the way this swings one way versus the other? I think there's arguments for both guys to be the guy. I loved Khalid Muhammad's approach to describing why Jerron Boots Ennis would be, and I he had me on. You know what? I agree. I think Boots is an exciting fighter. I think he could be a good. It's just that Boots doesn't like the social media. He doesn't have the relationship with the fan base the way I think Xander does. Xander seems so willing to, answer questions, be in the media. He seems primed for big commercials, the halftime show. He brings so much positive energy to the boxing space. Boots seems a little bit more recluse, a little bit more introvert.
And you know what it is? I'm glad you said it that way, because a lot of people who even saw him on the Ariel Helwani show is like, come on, bro, dress better, or why do you speak like you're square and stuff like that you're seeing on the comments. And to me, what I saw is, I really think, and I'm a huge fan of Jerron Boots Ennis. I've been rocking with him from the beginning. I know I get a lot of, Angelo just glazes on him all the time, but you know what I think he is? He's a boxing geek, bro. Like, he loves boxing so much. He studies it. For himself. He's not like a boxing fan where he'll watch other people fight, but for himself, he's constantly trying to make himself like better. Like, how do I get better on the inside? How do I get better? So that's where I think it doesn't come across well. Versus Xander, is a very PR driven guy.
Yeah,
Not that he's not a
media
good
trained.
fighter.
He seems media trained.
Yeah,
Very media trained.
Yeah.
Agent Zero. I feel like you're Agent 07777. Can you put the camera on real quick just so I can see you? Okay, good. You're good. You can shut it off. I know you're probably doing something. Agent Zero, what's good with your family?
Yeah, I'm doing good, guys. I'm doing good. Just wanted to talk today. I've been listening. I never talk, so I wanted to say I love the fact that you guys love fact. Like, that's why I've subscribed to the channel.
Mm-hmm.
You guys speak facts. I'm a UFC fan, by the way. I started listening to you this year because of ZUFFA Boxing. So, love facts. I think I stumbled upon Claymore on another channel. He popped on the live, and then I subscribed. So, love that. Just wanted to talk about one fact. You guys should really listen to the earnings calls of TKO every quarter.
Okay.
And even if you don't listen to them, at least take the transcripts. Like, you can go to a website, like any like financial website, like fisco.ai. You take the transcript, put it on ChatGPT, Claude AI, and then say, tell me everything about ZUFFA Boxing that was said about ZUFFA Boxing. Because one thing that people don't talk about, every time people talk about the 60-40 deal with Sela, it's not a set in stone 60-40 deal. Ever since last year, they've been saying in the earnings call that they got targets to reach. As they reach the targets, it's gonna be a close to 50-50 deal. And then last year, and then they say close to 50-50, that's to say it's probably gonna end up being 51-49, 52-48. I'm an accountant. I love that stuff. And then last year in December, Mark Shapiro, the CEO of TKO, he was talking at a UBS press conference. I believe UBS is like an investment bank. He said that last year in December 2025, they had already reached some of those targets. So right now, it's not even 60-40 right now. It might be 55-45 right now. And then I believe it was either in February or May, like either the Q4 2025 earning call or Q1 2026, they said that they've already hit other targets. So I believe these targets were not even related to ZUFFA 1 because in December 2025, we hadn't had ZUFFA 1. And then they plan on hitting all the targets by the end of, they said in 2 years. So by the end of 2027 or early 2028. So it's not going to be, everybody keeps saying, Sela controls ZUFFA. It's going to be like close to 50-50, as they say. They're going to reach these targets. So I wanted to mention that it's really a partnership. But right now, they don't spend none of the money. That's everybody knows that, but they've confirmed it in the earnings call. Sela pays for everything. It's a no risk for them. They receive a management fees on top of that. But I really wanted to mention that eventually ZUFFA is going to be a 51-49% partnership with Sela. So
I love it, man. I appreciate that. So they're basically buying their shares back. They're buying back by
exactly. They say they got targets. So every time they reach the target, they unlock trend sheets, they call it.
Yeah. And Agent Zero, man, absolutely love your content whenever you're on the chat. You're one of the positive people on the chat. You can tell you're very passionate about combat sports in general. Because, I've tried to get my brother Claymore to do more UFC fight parties, because we had that fun one that we did. But we will.
It's just a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But
I gotta admit, I love Claymore's commentary. The man hypes up any fight. So a lot. And whenever I can catch a live reaction, I put the fight on mute and I listen to Claymore. Man, it's really good. So I'm kind of sad that it's not gonna be
the UFC one. Agent Zero. You should listen to the. We only have one right now where we did a watch party for UFC. It was
I watched it. I listened to it live. Okay, I was on that live. So I wanted to mention
Donkey Kong is something that my guy John Anik should use. Donkey Kong.
So I believe their next earning calls is gonna be in July probably or August for the Q2 for till June. So
if you could remind us, like when they come around right before, just remind me because I'm definitely very interested in being present for that to seeing how that's moving as well. I really
and even better, Agent Zero, if you could pop up on the show and you could tell us, like, because you have the financial backgrounds, and just explain it to the fans, because I do listen to it when it finally comes out. and also Jedi Goodman always puts it out also, right? What the earning calls are. So that's why you're seeing what Claymore and myself, we've been talking about it since last year, but you're seeing the big picture of everything, right? Agent Zero, you're seeing that this is a long play, not a short one.
Yeah, exactly.
On phase 2.
Yeah, exactly. And they're super transparent. Like sometimes people say we don't know what their plays are, we don't know what their intentions are. Like they reveal a lot of stuff in the earning call, but the journalists sometimes don't pick them up. So I don't know why. So eventually I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Agent Zero, since we still have you on. So I know that TNT is sooner rather than later will eventually be a part of this whole Paramount Plus movement, right? HBO Max, the whole bit.
Yeah.
So, do you subscribe to the theory that I have that TNT's doing the zone thing kind of as their practice to making sure they're ready to go once ZUFFA Boxing starts being on TNT?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that because sometimes those deals they negotiate them early on. So I don't know since when they've been negotiating that deal. So if it was like early last year, I wouldn't say that because the deal closed last year. I believe the Paramount CBA Skydance deal closed like September or something last year. So I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that for a fact. But
yeah, I agree. That's how I feel too. I feel like these guys are smart enough to protect their interests and not be used that way. They're going to make sure they get an opportunity to truly move their product forward and grow it. They're not just going to get used as a stepping stone.
Now, the other thing I would say is that if the zone deal with TNT is not solid, it's not like it's on a per month basis. Zufa is going to take that over. So if it's a set in stone deal, like we got this for 2 years, all right, no problem. Zufa can touch that. But if it's not solid, Zufa is going to close that deal. Right.
Hey, before you go, Agent Zero, since you're a UFC guy, am I going to see you here for Conor McGregor? Max Holloway, the return of Max?
I live in Canada, actually, but my girlfriend doesn't want me to go to Las Vegas by myself, man. I was in Washington. I can go. I went to Washington, the Freedom 250 fight. I can go to New York, but I can't. So no fly zone. Unless she's here, I can't go to Las Vegas.
Okay, so let me ask you that since you were there. So Clay, we're talking to someone who was there for UFC Freedom 250. He came from Canada to go to that event. What did you think of that event, Agent Zero?
Amazing. Like I posted some pictures and videos on my Facebook and Instagram, and I said I had the best time of my life. Like I went to my first live event for the UFC was UFC 281. Adesanya Pereira won. It was voted event of the year. I went to one day. I went in Montreal last year, but this one was the best. Like it was the best in terms of UFC event, but it was also the best in terms of live event. Because even before the event, we had an army band playing live for us. It was great live music, and then like during the watch party, as they call it, we had a great time. Like I'm not even talking about the production and everything that was amazing at the White House, but even being in the Ellipse, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was a great.
This is a Canadian talking about how great America was.
No. By the way, I'm Canadian because I got the citizenship, but I'm originally from Haiti. So I'm
about to ask Agent.
Yeah.
Mundo CCIC, right?
No, I see him. That's
exactly what I was going to ask you. I was literally about to ask you that. Literally, I heard it and I'm like, oh man, this is so
I'm Haitian. I live in Montreal, so I speak French mostly. So English is my third language.
No doubt. Well, man, I'm happy you're here at the channel, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Don't be a stranger, bro, and keep us up to speed with those quarterly earnings.
Quarterly earnings. Yeah. And Agent Zero, are you on Instagram at all, or are you?
I'm on Instagram.
All right, follow me so we can connect, man. I want to talk more UFC.
I believe I already follow you. I believe I already follow you on Instagram.
Do you? Man, I don't know how to find. What's your Instagram handle?
Yeah, it's my first name, so I'm not gonna say it out loud.
Oh, got you. I'll put it on the private chat for me, and I'll find it.
All right.
No
problem.
All right, Agent. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man.
All right, bye.
I knew he was Haitian, bro.
You got another Haitian brother, man. You start speaking that Haitian.
I got this. You know what I'm saying? DR, man, second cousin, third cousin, man. We ride on the same island, man. We need to hurry up and get that figured out, bro. Because I think
we gotta
together
take care of that, man. It's a damn shame.
Sure.
It's a damn shame. But man, I appreciate callers like that, man. Callers like that are knowledgeable.
Right.
You know, when the whole Zufa thing was about to take off, and Dana White was talking about the approach and how they was gonna, the 1 and the 2 and the 3 was gonna fight each other. He was breaking things down in such a way that I'm like, this is what I've been looking for as a fan. You know how many times, Claremore, I have gotten family together for a big event fight, and it stunk up the place. It stunk up the place. Of course, I enjoy good fights that I watched at home. You know, the Sergio Martinez knocking out Paul Williams, the McDonald Broner. But when those big events come up and you get everybody home, and it's like, man, you got me to see this. You brought the whole family together to come see this. And now I'm paying, and not only that, I paid $100 on top of that. $80 on top of that to get robbed. And
those pay-per-view numbers be crazy. $85, $84, $93. Like, what the hell?
Ridiculous. And now I'm paying $8. And I feel like I'm robbing the company. I'm getting
every time the police lights go in front of the house, you like,
I'm paying
okay, it's not over here.
For quality production, for good fights. And not only that, I get movies and I get UFC on top of that. Now I'm watching UFC fights. I've never watched a whole European card in its totality. Because of Zufa, I say, you know what? It's the same ecosystem. I know these guys are going to all fight each other eventually. And that was a hell of a card. The main event was bloody, bloods and guts. I'm like, man, I just appreciate what they're doing. And I got so passionate and excited about this that I got ran off chats that I started with other people because I was just so excited. I'm like, guys, I think you guys need to focus on this because just a Google search will tell you that the people that's behind this are not regular promoters. These are not regular Joes. We're talking about a $40 billion entity in TKO that's publicly traded. And the reason why they're transparent, like the accountant says, because they're publicly traded.
Right. They have to be.
So you're not going to get what my brother went through. Oh, how much money was it? Was it 700,000, $500,000? No, you're going to know exactly who got paid.
Yeah, you know what? The other thing too, Juan, and I know you're experiencing this right now, with what you know, and I know you know some of the things, but Zufa directly pays the fighters. So it's the fighters' job to disperse it however they want it. But there's not going to be this weird thing where the paycheck goes to the manager and then the manager. Nah, that money goes right to Edwin. Edwin got to figure out.
The last thing a publicly traded company wants is a bad name. A bad name that doesn't do well when you got to buy stocks.
100%. 100%. They're going to be transparent and they're going to make sure they're profitable and they're going to make sure they're going to do what they have to do to become profitable, which is what the traditional space forgot, which is the fans. They forgot their obligation to provide the entertainment, the production, to continue to elevate, improve, add. They forgot how important we were because they treated us like a bunch of, I don't want to get political, but I don't mind doing it. They treat us like a bunch of damn liberals. You know what I'm saying? Like they treat us like they got our votes anyway. They don't care. They're going to pay the pay-per-view anyway. We ain't got to do that. Nah, bro. You know what I mean?
We got to talk about it. When you get taught to just vote a particular way or look at the word a particular way, you just keep doing it. I kept buying them.
You lose your value. You lose your credibility. They don't listen to you no more. They don't need you. They're not in your community anymore saying, what do you need from us? What's going on? Talk to us. They don't care because you're going to show up like a bunch of trained robots to hit the blue button when you get inside the booth, bro. But when they start seeing, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. It is weird. I try my best not to go there. I try my best.
That's groundbreaking what you just said. So those people that understand and been part of that, the left, as we open. As you get older, you start maturing a little bit. You start
realizing
there's no boogeyman oppressing me. I gotta make decisions.
I don't know how many times I gotta sit there and be like, what in the hell? You know how many times? Wait, what the fuck? What about? I thought you said you was gonna. We got you, bro.
Brother.
We got nah.
The fire sticks changed the game.
Yes.
Once the fire sticks came in, and they no longer could get $2-3 million buys no more, it was
That's
over.
it.
Yeah, let me ask you that too, Owen. Is you're in New York, right? So
Yeah.
You know, when they were trying to hype up the David Benavidez thing here in Vegas, I was telling Clay, I'm like, whatever they're saying, that shit's a lie. Because I'm here, barely no one's really saying nothing about it. And then when the real numbers came out, what did it say? Barely 7,000 tickets sold to T-Mobile Arena, which is terrible, right? On top of less than 100,000 people buying the pay-per-views. So you're in New York. I hear from what Eddie was saying, it wasn't sold out yet at Barclays. I'm hoping it does because they've started lowering the ticket prices for like $99 because I want it to be a packed house, right? These fighters,
it's gonna sell.
Yeah.
The thing is that they're doing they do a bunch of fights in between. So
I hope so.
And let's
I was gonna ask you, how's the promotions been there? Like how well have they been promoting it?
Overall, Edgar has been doing his, the Knicks just won. He got into that crowd with the Puerto Rican parade, so he's doing his job. But one thing, because we love Zufa, I love Zufa, but one thing that they have to get better at is putting out promo things earlier. A lot of times they wait to the last minute to show you the whole card, to give you the documentary on the fighters. A lot of times it's the weekend of the fight that they're putting out the content. So, but you gotta expect that. It's their first year. The thing is, they've been hitting a lot of things out of the ballpark, not just necessarily inside the square circle, but as far as the business entity. We are competing with the NBA and the NFL. I'm not competing with other promoters. This is the vision that these guys are aiming for. And they have the team, they have the politics, this is a perfect storm so that we could be that household name. It's true what you said earlier. We can't talk about boxing unless we're in these circles.
Right.
I can't talk to regular folks about boxing.
Right. And I like that you said that too, because it is important for us, the fans, to hold Zufa accountable because we want to make them better, right? So you're right. Like I haven't seen, I know that there's an Edwin De Los Santos package, but I haven't seen it yet, right? And it would be better if we already had it last week. If the Edwin De Los Santos package was already released last week.
They came to the gym about 2-3 weeks ago, so I knew it was going to come up pretty late. Yeah, but think about it. They're doing everything. It's their baby. So they're going to get some things wrong. They're Europe card, Canada, New York. Like, this shit is taking off faster than we thought.
Right.
Big signings.
Yeah, no.
Like, I heard the next couple of months are going to be like, put your seatbelt on because it's coming.
Now, let me ask you one, because I've been telling Clay this, that I think, honestly, that the winner of De Los Santos Rayo has an opportunity to fight Shakur, and that would be Shakur's first.
I already told you. Your sources are amazing. I have a great relationship with Clark and a few other guys, and let me just tell you, the winner of this, his life is going to change. That's all I can say.
Okay, there you go.
So they both know that.
Life changing, Clay. Life changing.
Listen, it's to the point where there was like, listen, y'all want to keep taking the other super fighters in the stable, but if y'all go against each other, this is what's coming. And there's a lot of names in the pipeline. We hearing about Haney, we hearing about Shakur, but there's a lot more.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. No, but you know, Juan, we can't say it. I was telling you in private about the ones. I was like, I know you know this already, but I can't, like.
You know how hard it is to be in these chats where people are, oh, you a super fanatic. Ah, oh, we thought you was Dominican boxing first. No, I'm the sport first.
Right.
I'm the sport, the overall health of the sport. I want the middle class. I want the guy that's up and coming to get his shot. I just don't want to see an A-side promoted fighter get all the shine and get all the, because that's what it is. Boxing,
100%.
Boxing is the A-side promoted fighter moving around him. We're gonna match him up perfectly, and we're gonna keep them away from certain fighters.
Facts.
How can you build a business like that?
You got a casual space that came in on the back end of shout out to Errol Spence, shout out to Gervonta Tank Davis, shout out to but they came on the back end of Deontay Wilder, right? They came in on the back end of this dopamine fix to where they never got a chance to fall in love with the sweet science of boxing. They never got an opportunity to fall in love with good competition. They just were there for that instant dopamine. He got knocked the hell out. Oh, he was shaking. Did you see him? And they got bored. They got bored when the knockout wasn't there. Fans today watch boxing waiting for the knockout. And the longer it takes for the knockout to come out, the more boring they are. And when it goes to the judges, they consider it a failure. Oh, man, come on, bro. These guys didn't even, they don't even find the entertainment in it, right? It's kind of like soccer. People who don't, could you imagine watching soccer, only watching it for goals? You miss the science of the volleying and the movement. And if you can't find entertainment in that, in a game where it's nothing for 4 points to be scored totally in the whole game, 4 or 5 points, you're going to think the game sucks. You're like, I can't watch this shit. Why? Man, they take forever to score. That's how boxing is. They look at it that way. They're waiting for the knockout, and the longer it takes for that knockout to come, the more bored they are. They can't get into a Shakur. They can't get into a Devin. They can't get into, you know what I mean? They can't get into even a Dimitri Bivol, right? They can't get into these fighters who are really the best in the game. They can't get into it because these guys ain't knocking people out enough for them, so they think that it's boring. It is what it is. Look,
a lot of my older friends tell me boxing was the #1 sport. And
yes.
I'm like, yeah, seriously? Wow. But they said you couldn't get me to watch a fight or follow boxing now. You know, so we got a lot of work to do. But I think we're struck gold, man. And I think indirectly Zufa is going to influence how other promoters also.
They're doing it right now. That's why we got Xander and Boots. That's why we're watching Xander and Boots. That's exactly why we're watching that fight on Saturday. For Zufa, we wouldn't see it.
Fight, you guys be on point when y'all be reporting. That fight could be a fight of oh man, this is an Olympian and Tucker's a dog.
Yup.
Like this could be a great, people don't understand, man. Like for us that watch boxing, the things that we're seeing, this is gonna be an exciting weekend for us, man.
No doubt.
And Edwin is my friend, and I tell him, yo, that ain't the same Rayo.
Yeah, lock in, because he's boxing.
I tell him he coming for his revenge.
Yes,
he's coming for his revenge.
Lock in, baby, lock in.
That's how I talk to him. Yo, Rayo,
hey, Juan, before you leave, tell Claymore how locked in is Edwin, though. Tell him.
Let me tell you something about Edwin. Edwin is so talented, but you were spot on about a lot of things that you said. The business of boxing. Let me tell you what happened to Edwin. Edwin, when he beat Rayo, his name will come across the other PBC fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And they will say no.
Facts.
Frank
Including
Martin. Tank. Pitbull. Hey, we got De Los Santos. You know what it is to be a poor kid from the Dominican Republic and your career is on the hands of another fighter? Like, that's just ridiculous if you think about it. When you can't even make a fighter fight the next best guy, because he was the next best guy at that division, at that weight. So traditional boxing will stagnate your career if you're not that popular. And it doesn't make sense because you can make a popular fighter out of Edwin. Now you have another person in your stable that you can mix and match and pull other people. But it's like you said, it's this liberal mindset of things are just this way, and this is how we used to doing it, and that's just how
cookie cutter, man. They don't have a mind of their own, man. They don't, and it's hilarious because they cut their nose off to spite their own face, man. It is what it is. Juan,
to themselves. It was a pleasure, my brother.
No doubt. I got a bunch of people in the back. Please keep coming up. I appreciate you, man.
It's a pleasure always, man. Take care.
My God, Toledo. Trees in the building. Trees was good.
Yo.
Was good.
Campagna.
Hey, I told you that fight was the one. I told you.
You already know what I'm here for. I'm only here for one good thing. Y'all talking that Zufa. Shout out to Zufa. Shout out to Xander and Boots. But it's only one thing that matters right now. July 4th. Cleveland, Ohio versus Ohio. You understand me? This is very serious. Albert Bell, Alberto Campana, get your motherfucking Mexican flags out. Abdullah Mason, the young pup, we about to put a leash on him, unfortunately. Give him a nice nudge up to 140. Yes. Hey, man. Claymore, I know you say it would be that would have been a good fight. It hurts me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It hurts my soul a little bit. I hear y'all talking about boxing needs stars. Abdullah Mason is a star. But hey, man, your light about to get dimmed, unfortunately. A new star will be born. July 4th is fireworks going down. Like I was already in the building when I thought it was Joe Cordina, but now I'm on the roof of that thing. We going crazy in there. You hear me? Listen, man.
You're upgrading your tickets, right, Toledo? You're upgrading your tickets.
Come on, man. I'm looking into it, but shit, when they seen that there's Albert Bell on there, them things started selling at a rapid pace. Look at that. The guy
city
who
going crazy. That's why I'm asking you. Is the city shaking? Like, are they like,
yeah,
what?
man? The city pulling up for this, man. The guys is coming out, man. We got guys coming out the woodwork who don't normally watch no boxing unless it's, Devin or Tank or Shakur. We got guys coming out the woodwork. We will be in Cleveland. The city of Toledo will be thick in Cleveland. That's for sure. But hey, man. Yeah,
wow. So the mayor's backing the wrong horse, huh? Trees.
Come on, man. The mayor backing the wrong horse, man. It's going down. Albert Bell, man, and the new. That's all that's all I care about. What 10 days out, 9 days out? Come on, man. Shout out to Xander and Boo. Shout out to Zufa, Edwin Dela, these guys. But listen, there will be no fight bigger than this one here. This is for Ohio history right here. And like I say, even with the Xander and Boots, they don't even got 2 world title fights. But we got 2 world title fights in Cleveland. Shout out to Shushu. Can't wait to watch him in person. I never get to see him in person. He usually in Shoe York. Shout out to him.
Right.
You feel me?
Or
but
Vegas. Yep.
Yeah, or Vegas. But we get to see him live. You feel me? Live and in color. We got Tiger Johnson on the card with Christopher Guerrero, the Canadian. Can't wait to see him. We got Scooter Davis, real knockout artist.
Facts. Scooter Davis is on there.
Yeah, I like Scooter Davis. This is an action-packed card. I'm very intrigued, very excited. Like I say, my level was on a 10 with excitement already when I thought it was Cordina. We done went from 10 to 1,000. It's on the flow. I cannot wait. It will be fireworks. And the new. But
wow.
Shout out, man. Yeah, shout out, man.
I know you cheering your guy on, man, because that's your guy, but you see the intangibles. You see where Abdullah Mason's a little wet behind the ears and just really can't compete with the crafty veteran and Albert Bell. That's what you pretty much see.
That's what I see. I see it, man. Listen, I'm from Toledo. Hell, I didn't see Albert Bell live and in color many a time. I know he got the skill and the pedigree to win the fight. You feel me? Like I say, Abdullah Mason, he a young pup. This is his first title defense, and I know he's a quote unquote knockout artist. He be beating on guys, but I don't ever see nobody just beating on Albert Bell, man. That's all I can say. And Claymore, them hometown fights, they've always had a propensity to be a little spooky, man.
Oh yeah,
we done seen guys go down in flames in them hometown fights, man. I always point back to when that the super welterweight title was flip-flopping back and forth in hands. You feel me? When Jared Hurd had the belt, he lost at his hometown to J-Rock. Then J-Rock had his hometown fight. He lost the belt to Banana Man. It goes down like this. Xander was looking a little iffy when he went to Puerto Rico. Niggas was all in my ear telling me Jared Anderson, he was looking a little iffy when he had the hometown fight. That was his first fight that he didn't score a knockout when he had to fight in Toledo. You feel me? Regis Prograis, when he went to Texas, he looked a little weird against Zuri. I'm just saying, man, it's a known fact that them hometown fights hit a little different. You got people in your ear from high school, people in your ear from elementary school. Yeah. Everybody and their mother want a ticket. Everybody and their mother want you to shake hands and kiss babies. We not there to kiss babies. We here to throw the baby out the window with the bathwater. Let's do it. Alberto Campana. And the new. But y'all be cool, but I just want to chime in and talk a little shit. ATP. Appreciate the platform. You already know what it stands for. Y'all be cool, man.
Salute, family. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, man. I know he's excited, man. But I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
He should be.
Man, I'm cheering for Abdullah Mason because I like the young bull, bro. But I'm wondering, man, All those first round knockouts. Listen, the writing's on the wall, man. Not first, but like, first 3 to 4 rounds, first 2 round knockouts.
Yeah.
He didn't get the experience. He got fast tracked, very active. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say fast tracked in a way to where the activity was there, but he didn't get the rounds. And when he didn't get the Rivera fight, I got nervous. And then he went into Sam Noakes, and listen, that was a very important fight for him. But this one right here seems like another huge jump. It seems like another huge leap for him that it might be premature. But when you're a champion, you don't get those choices. You got to fight like a champion now and fight the best.
Well, we're gonna find out, right? Like, how good is Abdullah Mason at this young of age? Because what's the hit on Boots all the time? Oh, he didn't look that good against Karen. He didn't look that good against Karen. Well, guess what, Abdullah Mason, you're getting yourself a Karen, bro. You're getting yourself someone who slick boxer. You don't have the height advantage. What's the one advantage that Abdullah has on Albert Bell, Clay?
Explosive.
Honestly,
explosive. I think he's explosive. He's athletic. I think that's part of it. But say it again.
I think it's combination punch.
For Abdullah, the advantage he has. Khalid.
Khalid. I don't know. His mic might not be working.
Yeah, I think your mic is messed up, Khalid.
Yeah.
Wait, do it again. Now you're mute. Unmute yourself. You're mute right now. I think I'm up.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were saying when I was asking what advantages that Abdullah Mason has, you're saying Abdullah Mason has combination punches over Albert Bell.
Yes.
That's what you were saying, Khalid?
Yes, okay. I think so. Yeah, I think
who
this
you
is
picking?
An interesting matchup.
You picking
right?
Abdullah?
Yeah. I got Mason. I looked at some of the scraps from Albert Bell. I saw that he can do a couple things in the ring. He can come to you because he did it in like his OTX fight, where like he was able to come to you and get some work with you. You know what I'm saying? Like come forward with his jab.
Khalid, you went out again.
So he can do that. You know, he can be the. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. You're back. Go ahead. Oh man,
I was on the back foot. He was on the back foot on that card, and then he was kind of moving around. He had a good jab. He was running my man into shots and things like that. So he can do some different things in the ring. But based upon the knockout ratio, like 28 victories, 9 knockouts, he not really punching like that. Like now look, with them 8s on that level, everybody punching, but he not just going like punch your lights out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's guys that punch harder. Like Sam Noakes probably punches like a little harder than like a Albert Bell. But Albert Bell is a seasoned pro. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of fights. Maybe not on the level, like maybe the competition level hasn't been on the same level as like a Abdullah Mason, but he's still a seasoned pro. He's from Ohio, so he gonna get some work with you. He's not really gonna play with you in there. But I think my man Abdullah Mason coming off the Sam Noakes victory, whether you want to criticize him or not, saying that he got hit too much and maybe he could have boxed a little more. Hey, that was his first time, his first world title fight in like Saudi. He wasn't finna play. He wasn't finna leave it up to like no judges or nothing like that. He was coming to get some work. So sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you just got to go out to fights like that. I don't think every scrap need to be like that, but sometimes you got to go in there and rumble, get some work, take it from the man. And he showed a lot of heart, and he showed some different facets of the skill. You know what I'm saying? He has a good jab. He probably could have used it more, but on that inside, he gonna work with you. And then that's why I think that the fight needs to be fought at. I think Abdullah Mason needs to use his jab to get on the inside. Once he get up in there, stay in there. You know what I'm saying? He got to cut that ring off with the jab. Now, he is a southpaw, so I don't know what Albert Bell's like how many southpaws he's fought or like anything like that, but that's a difficult angle and all that. So, I think that Mason has the skill set to beat him. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a tough fight. You know, Albert Bell is coming. This is his first world title shot. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be in his hometown. You know, this is Ohio versus Ohio, so it's really going to be cracking in that bitch. And this is a lot to ask for the young guy. However, when you get the belt, they say you get 50% better after you win the title. So I think that being that he's a champion now, he's not trying to give it up. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's going to come to win. I think the game plan, hopefully he's been in the gym working on that defense, working on moving his head, coming forward. He's a good athlete. Now, look, even now, Abdullah Mason has the longer reach. I think Abdullah Mason has 74 inches, and my man Albert Bell got 73. And Abdullah Mason is 5'9", Albert Bell is 6 feet. So he's going to have to come up in there. But when he step into Albert Bell, because he's like 5'9", not 5'5", he can still get to him. He got good feet. He just got to use that jab to be educated up in there, stay up in there. And Abdullah Mason has good inside work. A couple things I want to bring up real quick. Interesting points. They said, Ness said this on the Boxing Voice, that when they sparred, Albert Bell hurt um, Abdullah Mason in the sparring sessions. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can either look at that a certain type of way, you can't. Sparring is sparring. I don't know how old Abdullah Mason was. I don't know if he was in the sparring working on some things. I don't know if he was in camp, if he was in shape. Context with sparring is important because sparring is sparring. However, we do have examples of guys with previous sparring partners having some tough fights. You look at Rolly and Ryan. They sparred each other. That was a tough fight. Virgil Ortiz and Boachuk, they had some rounds together. That was a tough fight. And like a few other guys along the way. So that could be a thing. However, I'm not going to overreact to sparring because sparring is sparring. I know that guys at a certain point, hey, yo, they don't want to give you everything. I'm only going to be in here working on this. Maybe I'm just working on my defense. Maybe I'm working on stepping around. Maybe I'm only shooting, like working on shooting the left hook. It could be a plethora of things that you're trying to work on. So I don't want to get all up into that. Now, when we think about why would Top Rank allow this, I think you all said something about the zone pushing for the good scraps. I think something else to consider is we don't know if Abdullah Mason, and then maybe you know this, Clay, but if he signed an extension on his contract, you know what I'm saying? Because he is a ring guy, you know what I'm saying? He's a ring ambassador. He's
Right.
fought with Turkey Al Sheikh. He's a Muslim and things like that. He is with Jay Prince. He might not have read up, and then he might be working with Turkey Al Sheikh, Saudi, and them, like maybe. And then if he hasn't made it clear to Top Rank if he's gonna come back or not, then you know what I'm
Might be
saying?
the
It's
setup
like,
for the wet up.
exactly. Might want to set you up. Maybe bring a guy like Albert Bell in, get him a title. You know, we can sign him for a while. You know, so that could be in play. I'm not saying it is. That's just something to consider and all that. But it could just be a DAZN saying, "Hey, yo, nah, like Albert Bell, he sells well out in Ohio. We need to generate some. The tickets ain't moving like that. We need to generate some revenue. This is a business. We're not just in here to lose money. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be on TNT. This is a young champion. These guys are young. They don't have the hugest of names, so we need to have a good TV friendly fight. You know what I'm saying? We need to have a good matchup type of fight. So yeah. So yeah,
Hey,
but I am picking Mason. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm
hey,
listening.
I was just gonna say, Khalid, did you know? So Dan Rayfield reported this. I like your theory, except Albert Bell, according to Dan Rayfield, signed with PBC. He
Oh
signed with
yes.
TGB. So he signed with TGB Promotions to get this fight, to
Oh
fight
wow. Okay.
Abdullah Mason. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know. Like, I don't know how Top Rank would fill in on that. I like your theory that maybe they're trying to get Abdullah Mason killed or something. But I mean, at the end of the day, if Abdullah Mason is, because there's already talks, right, Khalid, about Keyshawn being kind of free right now. He's not really signing a Top Rank extension, and like you said, they're all connected to Turkey somehow with the Riyadh ambassador ship. So we'll see, man. I just like that it's an exciting fight and it's two Ohio guys. I think that's great.
No doubt. Man,
No, that's
I'm
excellent.
wondering
Hey,
questions I got about Xander. I'm wondering how he's handling this weight cut. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm hoping he does good with it. I think he should
Blaze
be
is
good.
saying he
yeah,
didn't
that's
show
been
up to the
proposed. I
final
seen that
fighter
floating
meeting.
around.
You hear that floating around?
All right, well then. All right, well. No, I haven't. I saw on YouTube. So my man True damn, hold on, slow down. True Scoop Sports. He
Okay.
said that a guy who was a Puerto Rican trainer, he has a YouTube page, that he got word that Xander is having a tough weight cut. You know what I'm saying? He did hear that. So that could be a thing. I think he did. He would have moved up I think he really did want to move up after unifying at 154. I think he did really want to move up. He probably stayed around, because the money was so good. It's just a huge opportunity. But I think he did want to move up in the fight, And I am hearing that this might be a wake up for him. Like, I'm gonna look at him differently if he doesn't make weight. Are we gonna hold it against him?
Yeah. Your sound is messed up, but yeah, I'm gonna pull you down, Cleety, because you sound like you're going bad. Now you're muted, and I don't think you're gonna be able to come back easily.
So Blaze just mentioned it, Clay. Blaze said that Xander did not show up to the final fighter meeting. Maybe it's the weight thing.
He's talking about Mazuma TV reported it last night. Oh, Mazuma TV reported it last night. Okay. I mean, listen, man. I said in the beginning of this, I said, remember when I said, Angelo, is this going to be one fight too many at 154? It's possible, man. That's a big kid, man. He grows. Like, every time I see him, he's a different human being, bro. He's more, you know what I mean? Just so many things going on, man. It is what it is, man. Fight Sports Talk. What's good with you, fam?
What's up, guys? How are you doing?
Doing good, man.
Good to have our New Zealand brother up. Talk to us, man.
Absolutely. Well, funny you say that, Clay, because the weather is shit, and that's actually not so bad for me because my one of the ways I make money is I do my own deliveries, and less people want to do it when the weather's bad, but you do have to be more careful out there on the road. So it's an interesting time, but yeah, lots of stuff I'd love to tap into while I'm on. First of all, on Xander's weight cut, I mean, I'd like to think this is just normal guys being big for the division. That it's a little tougher than it is for most. I mean, Boots was in this situation not too long ago, and he made weight, and yeah, he had some poor performances, but when he fought a world champion, the only ranked guy he's fought, Stanionis, he looked great. So I'd like to think that's the same for Zayas, because one of the narratives that's really, I wouldn't say it shocked me because nothing really shocks me these days, but it's kind of surprised me is people saying, is this too soon for Xander? Is this too soon for him? I'm like, how? He's younger, yes, but he's got the best resume in this division so far. His resume is way better than Boots. So I think he's going to do fine for this fight. I mean, as far as who wins, it's a pick and fight. But yeah, I just don't see why people think it's too soon for Xander. He's basic, but yeah, Jermall Charlo was basic and he became undisputed. So I just don't get that narrative.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a lot of people. I think it's more so with Boots, right? It's Boots is a phenom in his own right, bro. He's just somebody who, even me, you know what I mean? Just this is a great opportunity for Boots because it's like finally we get an opportunity to get the questions answered in a real way, right? Where it's like we all kind of know and believe in our hearts who Jerron Boots Ennis is, but we can't argue back with people who say he hasn't had the signature fight. 30 plus fights into his career right now. This is going to be his first signature fight. And I think there's a big anticipation for Boots. I mean, keep in mind, remember that Boots was always in the conversation of being one of the only people who could beat Terrence Crawford, right? He was the guy they wanted to see against Terrence Crawford, who's this era's, generational GOAT. You know what I'm saying? So Boots has a lot of expectations on his back. And I think that's where the Xander questions come from as far as is he too soon to be in the ring with somebody who was literally slated to be somebody who could dethrone Terrence Crawford, who end up being the generational GOAT. So Boots is like, he's a real phenom of a fighter. And I know people want to break him down and humble him, like, hold on, you keep talking Terrence, bring him down. He's not that good, bring him down. But the reality is the eye test had a lot of people feeling like, even me, I'm a Terrence Burke Crawford fan. I really wanted to see the Boots Crawford fight. I just respected Crawford doing what he had to do and leaving the game. So I wasn't one of these guys out here pushing the narrative like, oh, he ducking him. But that fight would have been a great fight. That fight would have been a great fight if it would have been able to happen, man. Boots is just that talented, man. He just is. But, this is going to be the big test for him, man. And this is going to be a big opportunity for both these fighters to really be in the face of boxing conversation. I truly believe it. I believe the winner of this fight is literally going to be in that conversation next to David Benavidez. If you guys want to still continue to put Tank in there, which I don't, but, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Boots is about to, if he wins this fight, especially in a dominant way, his name going to be in that conversation.
Hey, I was going to ask you, Fight Sports, because I was telling this to Clay earlier that couldn't sleep, and I
Hold it
ended
down
up
for
watching.
me, Angelo.
Oh yeah, I Fight Sports. I ended up watching Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. I scored it exactly the same as I scored it the first time. I still believe to this day that Hagler should have gotten to win. At the very least, it should have just been a draw because I gave 6 solid rounds to Hagler. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, I think this is the only way Xander would be able to pull it off. Is he'd have to like convince the judges. He'd have to grab a lot and not get a warning for grabbing, and kind of steal a win, right? I mean, how do you see any way for Xander, and how would Xander beat Boots?
Well, using his long reach. I mean, I know they're a similar size, but Boots is definitely the better pressure fighter. But again, this to me, I see what you're asking. I just don't see why people are, and some of my friends they've got this view. They seem to think that Xander that like it's a question if Xander can keep it at long range. I mean, Xander used his range pretty well against Burrell, and I thought he won that fight fairly clearly. I don't get the judge who thought Burrell won, but Burrell wasn't just. Did you score it for Burrell or?
No. I was just laughing because I mean, yeah, it was pretty
right.
pretty easy to see that. Yes, you're supposed to give this to Xander. I mean, like just based on the boxing. But yeah, go ahead, continue. Sorry, man.
Yeah. So anyway, what impressed me about that fight is that Burrell wasn't just going forward like an Antonio Margarito with no. He wasn't just being an aimless pressure fighter who was just throwing 1,000 punches hoping something would land. He was making Xander work. He was being explosive when he needed to. He was forcing Xander to use the ring, and I was impressed with his ring IQ. He also didn't. You mentioned grabbing a lot. Whether he'll have to do that against Boots, and he may, but he didn't resort to excessive clinching against Burrell. So I think in terms of using his long reach, which I know him and Boots have similar size, similar reach, and he doesn't have the same reach as Chukadzian. But in terms of how they're going to fight, I think Boots is going to want to pressure him. I think at long range, Xander has the advantage. And I could be wrong, but the reason I say that is because, again, he used his reach well against Burrell, and he also used his reach well against Perez. And Perez, I know, had 3 losses, but he had just beaten Charles Cornwall, who was a young, undefeated up-and-comer. So and also Boots has shown to not be the best defensively, which is why it's always going to be a question, as Clay was saying, would his defense have held up against Crawford if they had fought? So I think Xander's going to be fine here. Again, the weight cut's certainly a problem, but I don't think it's going to be a problem for him to keep this fight at long range.
No doubt. Yeah.
So who are you picking? Who's your official pick?
It's not like Xander.
Yeah, I'm picking Xander, but only because he's for better competition. I mean, Boots, again, I'm not saying that he's all hype, but that is, as you said, Clay, the speculation about him is that he's been hyped up so much but he hasn't had the opportunities yet. And him and Ortiz have just had this weird situation where one's ready, the other's not, then the other's ready, then the other's not. So this, like you said, this is his chance. But I'm picking the guy who's a bit more proven. But I would not be shocked at all if Boots wins. I'm not picking him to stop Xander like a lot of people are. And he could, again, but I don't know. Stanionis was just there to get hit. And I think Xander's better than that. Also, we'll see how Boots does against a guy who's not that much smaller than him.
Not smaller than him at all. I think Xander's going to be the bigger guy.
Yeah, you're saying the size. This time Boots is fighting someone kind of like, hey man, fight someone your own size is what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, and again, that's not a knock on Boots, but it's just the welterweights were smaller than him, and I think his punching power had a big. I think one of the reasons. Look, I don't know if Boots is going to be a knockout artist in every division he's in, but one of the reasons he was putting guys away at welterweight so much is because he was a big guy, and well, it's just a fact. When you move up divisions, especially in the bigger divisions, your punching power isn't typically the same. So we'll see. If I could just touch up on one thing, I'm not sure if anyone else has, because I've noticed it on your guys' list, Errol Spence.
Yeah, we talked about Errol Spence. Go ahead.
Well, has anybody given their thoughts on what Errol Spence has said? Because, I mean, my view may not be popular, but I have to be honest, I think it's just excuses from him, to be honest.
You think that on his interview he's given a bunch of excuses because he feels like if he loses, those are all the excuses?
100%. I just look, I wasn't there in the camp, but I just don't believe what he's saying. I don't believe that Derek James got no southpaws in to spar him. That, I mean, what Errol's saying doesn't make any sense. That Derek James didn't do any sparring, he didn't do any preparation, he just held mitts, he didn't even hold them properly for the biggest fight of their lives. Like, how does that make any sense? And also, let's not forget, it was Derek James who sued Spence the year after because he wasn't getting paid what he was contracted to, and then Spence countersued him. And Spence didn't answer any of those questions. So I think, and also about the rematch that never happened, Errol Spence did say that Al Haymon didn't want it. And it's just my opinion. I think Errol Spence would have taken the rematch because he's a warrior, but Al Haymon didn't want it, and Al Haymon made sure it didn't happen. So I think Spence is just a bit confused, and I mean, 3 years out of the ring, legal battles, a lot of excuses, which again just don't make any sense. I think this may not affect the fight, but I just don't think it's a good look for him.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I appreciate you, Fight Sports, man. I think this is going to be a good fight. I'm watching a press conference at the same exact time. I ain't going to lie to you, man. Jerome Boots is he looking, I don't know. We're going to find out Saturday. It's going to be one of those nights, man. All right, brother. Sam from Jersey, you in the building? What's good, Sam? What's good? You muted, Sam. You're muted. Okay, he's not ready. My guy, good buddy Taylor, what's good with you?
Am I on? Am I on? You can hear me?
Yeah, you're definitely on. Okay, listen, before you go, let's not do too much cussing. Let's try to hold back on that, but have a good time.
What time? First off, I'm not even gonna curse because I think I'm dying, bro. Look, let me tell you real quick. It's this lady who she was on crack, and I think her dog was on crack, and then the dog, and then it bit me. Does that mean I'm on crack too? I might be on crack now because of that. Hey, Papoose is cheating on Clarissa Shields with Remy Ma. Listen to me. I'm sick of y'all talking about motherfucker Abdullah Mason not being ready for this fight. Look, it worries me a little bit because I think this is how we discovered Manny Pacquiao as a step-in opponent. Or remember what happened with Miguel Cotto when he fought, what was that dude name? Ricardo Torres? How tough a fight that was? But I mean, I think Abdullah Mason, first off, wait, before I go that far, let me say this. We need to thank Turkey Al-Sheikh, your excellence, your perfectionism for creating Riyadh season and creating all these battles in boxing. Abdullah Mason survived the Riyadh season fight. People forget this dude, Sam Noakes, was 28 years old and a Brit. And Brits still live for boxing. They're born, breathing, and the minute they come out the womb across the pond, all they do is start worrying about boxing. They are all about boxing. That was a tougher fight than people expected. I don't know what what's this dude? This dude Albert Bell is capable of, but it sounds like they sparred already. And I think after the competition that Abdullah Mason has been through, I'm pretty sure he's more than ready to fight this dude Albert Bell. I ride with Abdullah Mason 100% on that. And then when it comes to Boots versus Xander Zayas, I think Boots is about to get some man booty. I think we about to witness a rape. I don't think Xander Zayas is nowhere near ready for what Boots. Look, when people just be like, oh, well, Xander Zayas might be the bigger man. You got to start looking at all the rest of the attributes around their sizes and things like that, right? So also, Boots is going to be faster. He's going to be just as strong. He's way more athletic. His mindset is his IQ is better. He's older. He's more mature. In the words of Larry Merchant, when Mayweather fought Mosley, it's hard to look at another man and say, I get it. He's faster. Jerome Boots is about to beat Xander's ass easy. This fight's not about to be close. When I see this fight, I picture Mayweather versus Canelo. But if Mayweather was more aggressive, what would have happened? Except for a little bit more bigger. That's exactly what I see with this fight. I think it's not going to be close at all. I think Boots is about to deliver it to Xander's ass. And then also, when I look at all these Zufa cards, I'm actually going with Reyes too. I'm not Reyes. I'm going with the freak is Rayo. Prepared for this fight against De Los Santos. And fighting boxers like Antoine, who is a bigger boxer, I think he's gonna make it. I think he's more people.
Oh, you got a bad connection, good buddy. It's horrible. It's bad. It's bad. All right. I think that's it. Let me see here. Sam, you there?
Yo, what's up, fellas? What's up?
Doing good, brother. What's good with you? You there?
I can't hear y'all, man. My connection is bad.
It's bad? You don't hear us? All right, Sam, next time, man. It was about that time, though. Yo, salute to everybody in the building, man. It is about that time for me. I got to get ready. Buddy was cooking, Keem, for sure, man. He's not, his connection was bad, though, but it is what it is. Sam, next time, man. We appreciate you, man.
Oh, man.
He had like 2 boxes open, and he wasn't able. I think he just had a bad connection. He couldn't hear us.
And then Buddy was cooking, but then, he fell out too, man.
He went into the Matrix. He went into the Matrix.
All right.
Dude, yeah, I'm watching Jerron. I'm watching Xander at this press conference, bro.
What do you think? What
slim, man. He looking real slim, bro. And it's not even weighing, so it's gonna be even worse tomorrow.
So knockout. Are we gonna bet knockout?
I mean, if you're gonna bet a knockout on anybody, you and Jerron's in it, it's a good bet. You know what I mean? The ratio speaks for itself. Jerron, on the other hand, I think he's looked better than I've ever seen him look before a fight ever.
He said great on the Ariel Helwani show he was already at weight.
He looks good. It looks like, I don't know, bro. I'm 65-35 right now. I was 60-40 when the show started, watching this press conference, watching Zayas, and then hearing that he didn't go to the fighter meeting. 65-35, man. Let's see what he looks like tomorrow on them scales, man. Let's see what he looks like, man. If he be up there looking like Devin Haney in Australia against Cambozas, ouch.
Wow.
It is what it is, bro.
So you think he gets knocked out, he's going to get on a mic and just be like, hey, I had a hard time with the weight. And I don't want to take anything away from Jerron Ennis, but.
He won't do that. He's going to say, hey, man, he was a better man. He's going to do the right thing. Xander's going to talk the talk the way he's supposed to talk the talk. He knows what he's supposed to do. But, I mean, let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. Let's see. If he doesn't look too bad tomorrow, right now, his face he's slim.
It's sunk. It's sunk in.
Yeah, it's sunken in, and I'll be honest with you.
You look like Richardson Hitchens. You look like Hitchens.
A little bit, man. And just because it's the day before and his eyes are a little sunken in, he's wearing glasses. At least he didn't come out in sunglasses because that would have really had him looking bad. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
He might be on point, man. He might be on point, bro. He doesn't look horrible. He doesn't look horrible. I'm not going to say that. He doesn't look horrible, but the day before the weigh-in, I know if he's on weight right now, he's good. But if he has to cut some weight, his clothes is hanging off of him, man.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You're saying he looked like Skeletor, but not with the good body.
Not a Skeletor. I'm not going to go all the way there, but if you could, I'll tell you right this, night and day from the last press conference, which it is what it is. But Boots don't look night and day from the last press conference. Boots looks just like the first press conference, just a little bit better shape, a little more tone, but Zayas looks like a different human being than his last press conference. So it is what it is. It is what it is. We got to find out, man. We got to see what it is, man. I hope it ain't bad. I'm 65-35 right now for Boots. Tomorrow, I think I might do another live. I think tomorrow we are going to do a live the day before. You know what I'm saying? Right. After the weigh-ins, after this press conference, we probably will do one. And and obviously we're going in on Saturday. Sunday, I wish I'm just not doing it, bro. I'm not losing money for these fights, bro. I'm just not doing it. I'm not losing
No,
money.
you shouldn't, man. If you're getting solid work, you should go to the job, bro. You
It
know,
is what
the
it
economy
is.
is fucking weird, and even though gas prices went down just by a little bit, it's not enough.
It's a memorandum. It ain't a sealed deal. We don't know what's going on, and we got intangibles and other players involved.
Meat prices are still high, Mr. President. I just want to let you know. Meat prices are still high.
Cam 804 Virginia says it's a dramatic difference in his appearance. 100%.
Yeah,
he's very different looking. You know what I'm saying? So all that confidence he has from camp, punching and taking punches and all that. That's what I always said about Devin Haney, right? It's like Devin Haney always had these urban legends circulating about him being this crazy guy in sparring. But it's like when you cut that weight,
it's different.
It's different, man. You don't feel as confident no more when you start feeling like, damn, man, I'm feeling kind of weak. All of a sudden, you staying behind that jab, you on your bicycle. You know what I'm saying? You moving around the ring and you ain't doing none of that work, man. So it is what it is.
No, I mean, even on all the training camps I was involved in, Clay, we always believed more in, let's not waste the training camp on you getting into shape for the fight. Let's get you into shape. Then in training camp, we're working on
the fight,
X's and O's and everything else. So you never really were like 20 pounds over your weight when you were sparring, right? But if to this theory or what you're talking about, Haney's looking good in sparring, but then he got to cut all that weight. Well, it won't translate, man, because you're not cutting all that weight when you're doing that sparring. So if you're telling me that it sounds like you're telling me that Xander will fill out really big.
Hopefully.
But all this drainage, bro.
Will he rehydrate properly to where his punch resistance is there to deal with a Boots Ennis? Because that's what he's dealing with. He's dealing with a Boots Ennis who is going to be the hardest puncher he's ever been in the ring with, man. I mean, Boots Ennis is the hardest
body punches too, Clay. Body punches, right?
100%. You know what I mean? And Boots is the hardest puncher 9 out of 10 fighters have ever been in the ring with. When they get in the ring with Boots, he's punching harder than anybody they've ever been in there with, or 9 out of 10 of the people they've been in the ring with. So he's in a ring with somebody where his punch resistance needs to be on point.
Oof.
65, bro. That's where I'm at. Guys, I appreciate all you guys, man. Thank you for stopping in the building. I know a lot of you guys were over there watching the press conference. I see the viewership is going up again, but we are on our way out the door as well. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it. Let's get the subscribers up. We are on our way to 4,000 subscribers. We're like 30 away, literally. So, I mean, tell a friend.
Get that up for the watch party, right? Clay's going to do a watch party on Saturday.
That'd be nice to hit that 4K at the watch party. I think
yeah. Well, I mean, you might do it tomorrow if you end up deciding to do it tomorrow. If send me the link. But if I'm not here, with you guys tomorrow, or if I'm like halfway through, it's because the Evo tournament's here. My cousin got 4 games tomorrow on Street Fighter. His first match, Clay, he's Ken. He's using Ken, but it's Ken versus Ken, bro. It's a mirror match.
I'm a Ryu dude, but I understand Ken. Ken's a little bit more athletic, a little faster. I understand. I'm a Ryu dude. I'm into the power, bro. I'm fucking shit up.
All right.
But
you might want to get good enough to join one of these tournaments one day.
Right.
Bro.
I'll get tagged up, bro. It is what it is, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Until the next one, you already know what it is. At this point, we out.
Gotta aim for the top line. Hello. Yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got then, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy. The riches got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me. But known for my city like OAGZ. Set the pace as long as you finish. Consumers find a way inside your business. Babylon, they try to dabble in it, and they hate the fact that they may have to witness. You tryna aim for the top like this, and you're in your element with a fire like this, and they hoping you fall and they praying you miss, but it's all in the risk. I got you with the switch, you know. I'm in the zone. Give me the throne.